bastard sermon, you motherfuckers.
Welcome to another episode of The Bastard Sermon. I'm one of your three hosts, Luke Young.
MC Psycho, you mean. And then Patrick Seda. And then tonight,
we have with us the wonderful, the incredible Billy Zimpelman.
Billy Zimpelman.
What's going on?
It's nice to have you in the studio with us, Billy.
It was nice to get that round of applause. That's probably the first time I've ever had anything like that happen.
Well,
so
you're going to get
thank
loads
you for making
more.
me feel special.
I'm just very glad you didn't clap for yourself.
Yeah.
Because then you'd be egotistical.
Right.
You know?
And
Now
that's like the first impression. Like, literally, like, this guy hasn't even talked yet, and he's clapping for himself. Like, man.
What a
he is
douchebag.
he is full of shit.
Now, if listeners are listening to this episode and wondering why it's so much better than all of our other episodes, it's because Cody's not here.
Aw. I can clap for that, right?
Yeah, you can clap for that.
Sorry, Cody, I love you, but you know,
Cody had
it's for the cause.
He had a Rona 19 scare, so
Yeah.
he felt better at stay home.
He had a little pain tum-tum. Yeah. We're going to
give
give him a
some
lot of shit
Pepto-Bismol,
tonight.
It'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine. You know, just give him a beer. He'll be good.
So, Billy, please tell us what you do and what group you're from.
So I work full time at Outback Steakhouse, which is very exciting.
Killing
I guess.
it.
Shout out.
Killing it. I mean,
Yeah,
steak.
shout out
I'm
to-
a fan.
To Outback Steakhouse. But that's not really my main passion. I do love to cook. You know, don't get me wrong, but it is also a very, very stressful environment.
For sure.
And it definitely takes a toll on you when you're trying to juggle other stuff. That other stuff is I play music and I play for SoftSpoken.
Yeah.
I play the guitar, the git fiddle, the
Guitar.
the skin flute. We've been a band for about 5 years now. And it sucks to not be able to be on the road right now because we were just starting to pick up a little bit last year. We just wrapped up a tour with I Set the Kill.
Nice.
And Awaken
I
Last
love them.
was the last larger one that we did.
Yeah.
I think we did a couple of small runs after that.
Yeah.
But, you know, the show must go on, and we've been working on new music. We just got 5 songs done. We're getting ready to put out, the first of those 5 songs. It's called Sleight of Hand. It comes out October the 16th.
Ooh.
So
It's
we'll
gonna be
get into that later. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of the beginning of the song.
I can't wait.
I'm pre-coming already.
Well, it's pre-coming for you.
I appreciate it. But Billy is a phenomenal guitarist. He was in Allies Aside, which I've talked about a couple times on the show for several years. He's been in the music scene for like 10, 15 fucking years. You're ancient in the community, it seems.
Are you calling me old?
Yeah, we're all old, dude, you know?
Yeah, true.
But we wanted to bring you on because you're always a conversationalist. You always have something interesting going on when it comes to like thought process and how you view perception of reality in life. You just have a lot of really interesting stuff to say. So I'm really excited that you came on, bud. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on, and I'm excited to talk to you guys. And Luke, it's nice to actually meet you in person.
It's super nice to meet you. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry that we didn't have a chance to,
You should have tagged him.
My
so
first experience of Billy was him saying, "I'm excited to be on the Bastard Sermon with Cody and Patrick," and Cody had to tag me in. Like, yeah, he's part of this too.
Yeah, because I try to see. So there's 2 bad impressions already. Well, no, wait. I guess I didn't. I really had to hold back on clapping for myself there. I won't lie. But I definitely like to leave people out in situations, especially if I don't know them. You know, if I don't know you, then
fuck you. Then fuck them.
No, like I don't hold anything against you because I'm the same way. I don't know you. I don't owe you anything.
Yeah, so
don't
fuck
know you. I don't care about you. Wait, hold on. Okay, speaking of, I don't care
Fuck
about
you.
Oh yeah. So we when we were in Allies Society together, we were gonna do that cover. And it was super brutal. So I was looking through my email a couple of months ago. I was getting rid of a bunch of old junk email that I didn't need. You know, all those subscriptions to Pornhub and
Right.
And OnlyFans.
XNXX, yeah.
How do you know that website?
Well, you know, a friend in middle school actually told me about that website.
I've never been there.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But you found it in your email?
Yeah. So it still exists. I don't know if you have it at all, but
I'd love to see
Patrick
because
is dying to hear this.
It is way deep in my email, so I don't want to spend 5 minutes on here doing that.
Yeah, I have it. I think I have it starred, but yeah, we never. That was the last thing we were going to record with Allies Aside, and then shit just hit the fan, I guess.
Yeah, we went through like 22 member changes, and
yeah, we're just like we got that third album out, which I remember you and I like working on that. Just you and I specifically going up and down the studio all the fucking time. And just redoing these tracks that we've been working on for 2 years. And when we finally got done with it, when Jake Nolan, when he was like, just get the fuck out of my house. Like, where he was just
honestly,
like,
I'm sick and tired of working on this.
I'm sick and tired of working on it because we were just so into it. He finally, we got in the car and we cried because we were like, all that hard work, we did it. And I thought, I'll never forget that. I don't know. I thought that was a really powerful thing because I never worked so hard on something. And it finally came out and I shared it with someone who also worked that hard on it, and it just felt like our baby there. It was just a really cool, magical experience for me. I felt like that sounds super lame when I talk about it on the air, but
super magical.
It was, I just remember that specifically, and then we're working on this new shit, and hopefully I have it here soon.
Yeah, I mean, that was like a 5-year-old email or something, so it's probably way, way deep in there.
Buried.
Yeah, I mean, I felt the same way about the EP. Even though a lot of stuff was written, like before I came in, I kind of like, revised a lot of the parts.
Made it better.
Ray Del Baldwin was the one that wrote a lot of the stuff, beforehand. So we just took whenever, he left, I was received permission to just take the exoskeletons and kind of just like rework them a bit, kind of like the way that I would play them without rewriting or like restructuring the songs, by any means. And so it was like
kind of like if you have a backup drummer like come on stage for a night,
right? Or well, usually it's just a drum machine in that case. Like,
okay.
Like honestly, who needs real drummers anymore? Sorry, real drummers are out of market. When you got every good like drum program ever that just make them sound real, like you don't even need it. No, I mean you really do though. You want the real performance. But I was also proud of that record. And I remember the first time that I took LSD, I listened to our record, and it changed. It changed my whole like perception of how we did everything, and also too like I had heard that we had just you could like feel the hard work that was put into it. But it's almost this thing that's like unexplainable, and this is no rag on the person who like produced the record by any means. Yeah. But you get in tune with sound a lot when you're in that kind of experience. And at that moment, I was like, man, I want to change this, and that. Like I was behind the mixing board, not that I was unsatisfied, but I literally could pick out every single like nuance and everything in it. And I was still like extremely proud of it. But it was really eye-opening to be able to hear a thing that we worked on hard, that they worked on so hard, being kind of like submersed into like the feeling of that. I don't know how to explain it really. It's kind of one of those things that just
I feel like it until you like be able to create something like that you just really pour your heart and soul into, and you just see it finally, the culmination of it just finally coming to an end. It's like you almost don't even believe that it happened. I found that track, by the way.
Oh, okay.
If we want to, I haven't heard it in so long, and it was just so good.
I don't think we had a chance to put vocals on it either.
It's that rap song, I Don't Fuck With You. But what the fuck's that guy?
I can just imagine dudes walking in circles.
Swinging it. I don't give a fuck about you.
Here it is. I don't fuck with you. You little stupid ass bitch. I ain't fucking with you. You little dumb bitch. I ain't fucking with you.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I fucking, it's been so long, so long since I've been to a show. I don't even know if bands like still do funny shit like that before they come out.
You don't see a lot of covers like that anymore. Not at all. Remember like the punk go crunk kind of shit or whatever?
Pop goes punk or...
whatever.
Hey, some of those slapped.
Some of those were really good.
destroyed.
Yeah, there was some like Devil Wears Prada did that Still Fly song, which still is damn good.
Oh yeah, it's one of the best I feel like in that whole era
For sure.
post-hardcore.
I think
uh,
I so wish that song came. I wish we just finished it because that would have been so stupid to look back on for years.
Devil Wears Prada really solidified me into that music scene. 'Cause,
Yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
It was like I had some friends who introduced me to Attack at first. And then Billy Blanton got me to go to like 2009's Warped Tour, and the Devil Wears Prada like closed out the whole tour on the big stage, and I had never heard I heard of
Like
them.
Reptar King of the Ozone
Yes.
shit.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I never heard them before. I never fucked with them. Like I heard the band, but like I said, I was introduced to Attack, so I'm still hearing loud singing songs. Like I'm not
Auto-tune and
yeah,
all that
like
shit.
I'm not into the deep growls yet. And then like they come on, I'm like,
be like, yep, now I'm really into this.
this is it,
Dude, they're
This is
still
where I'm
so
meant to be.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're
they
still
are.
so good.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I will say one thing about them. They didn't seem to follow their old fan base very
Yeah.
well. That's the only.
Yeah.
That's
You
the,
talking about the new style of like how they do it?
Yeah, which I actually like how they sound more in the past 5 years
Yeah.
than I do with that old stuff. Not that I don't
It's so
like. I
unique
could go
now.
back and listen to a lot of their old shit too, but I really, really love Dead Throne and
Oh,
Yeah.
I got it tattooed on my wrist. I love it so much. I thought that album was phenomenal.
that album was phenomenal. Yeah, I wasn't really huge on 818, and then like Transit Blues was a really good record. I
Yeah.
thought, but apparently their album sales on that were like pretty poor, and I'm talking like they
Couple
sold. I think in their first week they did like 12,000.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Damn.
Yeah. But it was such a
Fuck.
great record, though. But the main problem of why they fell off was that they didn't seem to follow their old fan base. And I think they could have found a way to almost mold that kind of like electronica. Like,
Yeah.
I
did
mean,
like
sure,
a transition album.
Wasn't
to
it
like
because-
kind of warm them up or something?
Yeah.
something about that. Yeah. I mean, they kind of like just went straight metalcore.
Yeah.
Starting on the Zombie EP, which I think everybody loved. And that's,
Oh, the
you know,
Zombie EP is a masterpiece as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wasn't it like their transition due? I mean, they wanted to be bar metal is what they were trying to go for, but like in their own way. But Mike, their vocalist, he just blew out his vocals.
Fuck.
He would scream so hard in live performances. You just see these pictures online of all this snot going down his face. I'm just like, how hard? You're gonna hurt yourself, dude. You're gonna spontaneous combust.
Fuck.
But speaking of poor album sales, Memphis Mayfire, which we all used to fucking love Memphis Mayfire.
Used to.
yeah.
Yeah, used to. Not so much
Used
anymore.
to.
But they like their first couple albums were phenomenal,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
Challenger was great.
Challenger was like
The
the
Hollow.
last good one, I think. Then they
Yeah.
had like Unconditional, which sucked hard dicks. But
yeah.
The first album they had where it was like all that like Texas kind of southern rock,
Yeah.
like the Ghost in the Mirror. You know what I'm talking about? That
Yeah.
was peak for me, and the Hollow. But their new album only sold like 2,900.
Wow.
And I was like, these guys used to headline everywhere. That's crazy.
Well, I think you know what it was too. Was that
The religion push.
Oh, yeah, they're
Yeah,
super
I think
religious.
yeah, I think
hard
that was a big
religion
part of it.
push.
Well, I don't even know for sure. I can't say that it if I'm convinced that it was genuine.
Yeah.
Which I think.
What do you
is,
mean?
Like
Like, they're not really religious? They're just pushing this fake agenda kind of thing?
There were a number of bands that would do that because during that era it was very popular for like a lot of Christian like metalcore bands, you know.
Like Under Oath and all that shit.
Right.
Wasn't
yeah,
that before
and,
them,
and,
though?
And some were genuine, and I feel like some Matty Mullins like particularly not that. He probably has, you know, faith and probably is like spiritual. And, like,
Careful, he
familiar with-
listens to this podcast.
Oh,
If
Matty
only.
Mullins, if you're listening, you're gonna hate me. I'm sorry.
No, just call him a bitch, dude.
You bitch. Anyhow, so yeah, I think that, you know, his whole demeanor eventually became very like egocentric.
Yeah,
You know, kind
I've
of like
heard.
the whole like I'm gonna be, you know, the voice of a generation. He actually
Yeah.
mentioned that in a few songs, and kind of like
Oh, I remember that.
a lot of his songs were about that. And you know, I guess after a lot of people had gotten to know who he really was, it seemed like he really, you know, like actually was putting on a facade. I think that might be a part of what, you know, decreased that whole
Momentum,
yeah, their whole popularity is
Yeah.
because eventually like people started catching on to that, and now walking into 2020, we all know about how cancel culture is.
Yeah.
So like you can't.
You fuck
really,
up, no one's buying your shit.
It's really hard to put on a facade because you can only do it so long, and now people have it figured out that like. It's gonna crumble and come out one way or the other. Everything's publicized. Everything is like essentially public domain at this point. Like, and especially when you get so popular, like you can't really hide from your demons for that long. Whether or not I'm not saying that he's a piece of shit or anything like that. Like, I'm sure like he's a good person or whatever. But
who
like,
knows?
a lot of bands got caught up in that image, especially these post-hardcore bands. Got super caught up in the image. For like sales, and I think there was a good number of these Christian metalcore bands that kind of had that outlook that they were going to put on this facade to sell records. Yeah. Not all of them, but some. So I'm not going to.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. I mean, every time we I don't know if were you in the band when we played with Memphis Mayfire? We played with them 3 different times.
Yeah, we played with them I think like 2 times in a matter of a week. One time was on it was the day after my birthday. Yeah. It was when the Mad Hatter got changed to Bangerangs. It was Bangerangs whenever
Killer Night.
They headlined so they played that right there, that poster, the Icy Stars, Stick to Your Guns, Memphis Mayfire, Our Last Night, Make Me Famous. That was an insane show. And my old band, Evade the Adversaries, played that. And then you guys played too?
I think I can't remember half the shows, dude. I just got the posters from when I went, so I assume so. But I mean, I've played with them 3 different times, and I just know that almost all of them felt a little weird to chat with, But the only people that I remember playing with a lot, like Motionless and White, we used to play a lot with them. Always the coolest fucking dudes ever. You could chat with them about anything. They're like the most gothic, like, scene queens you could possibly see. But you'd see them outside with their tour van with their bull flexes, and like they'd kill you in one punch. And it's just, they were super nice guys, though. Attila was always interesting too. Yeah, they would have in their trailers. They would carry a whole Bowflex system with like with the.
Oh, I know how both.
Like the one you'd see in the infomercials, the you get buff, you be anchor arms, jerk, But
are you a wimp?
Are you a wimp?
Are you built like a sponge?
Yeah, so they'd be fucking just lifting weights all the time, and I remember we saw that, and then Attila arrived, and if you don't know Attila, you could make fun of him so easily, but. They're like this party metal band kind of thing.
You can easily make fun of them.
Make fun of them.
And it's mostly their vocalists because really their music's really good.
I think the music is so good.
It's insane. But once you hear that weird rap scream, you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
it's kind of like a weird guilty pleasure, or it used to be for me.
Oh, for sure.
I used to like them so much.
It was a guilty pleasure. Yeah, 100%.
My music's totally different now. I'm like all lo-fi jazz and. Sometimes I've been listening to a lot of Under Oath lately, like today, but most of the time I'm just listening to instrumental shit. But I remember they arrived in some kid's van, like it was one of those vans with like it looked like a kindergarten van, like, oh, we're going on a field trip, get in you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But they had all the windows blacked out with cardboard. It looked so sketchy. And they opened up the back doors and it was like a fucking music video entrance. Like Franz, the vocalist, he had his long blonde hair, and he had like the tightest American flag vest on with the short jeans. And they walked out, and there was just so much weed smoke everywhere. It was like him walking, like Darth Vader leaving the fucking starship. You know what I'm talking about? Going on the Death Star, and you're just like,
there's just like ambiguous fog everywhere. You're
like, yeah. What's going on?
Someone's coming?
Yeah. So I remember that. That was always funny. They're cool.
My guitarist Chris Wethington, he had an opportunity to meet the guys in Attila, because there is this band, and it may or may not be announced yet, so I'm not entirely sure. So a band that we did a run with got an opportunity to get signed to Stay Sick, which is Franz's label. So they played a show in Louisville, and he went up there because I guess
Franz did.
Yeah, like Attila, they played, and my guitarist Chris Wethington, he does like management for other bands through his firm, and it was one of the bands that he was working with that was that like Franz was interested in like signing them, so he got to like hang out and like meet all of them, and it was basically like the same deal, like just bong rips, just like everything's up in smoke, walking out. I mean, I'm sure he probably got a contact high. He doesn't even smoke.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure. That's just what happens when you hang out with Attila, I guess. Yeah,
just get ripped and
whatever.
go up there and play.
But apparently they're doing pretty well. I saw them in concert like
well, I hear that they're
3 years ago, and they were awesome.
Apparently, they're like latest. I've from what I've heard, I haven't listened to any of it. From what I hear, they're like their newer stuff is like he's trying to turn a more serious note to it lyrically.
From everything that I've heard from them, it sounds more like black metal. Maybe I'm wrong. If those are listening, you want to criticize, there's a lot of elitists out there. You can correct me too, but
welcome the elitists.
Don't be a dick about it. I like Attila too, but don't be a dick about it.
Yeah, any diehard Attila, elites out there want to correct us. Send us some links.
Yeah, send us some links. Tell us what's up. But they were awesome when I recently saw them. They were really good.
I mean, if that's the direction that they're headed in, that might be pretty cool. And I would be interested to actually check out some new stuff from them if that's where they're. Yeah, but like, man, he's gonna have a really hard time trying to get people to take him seriously, though. From the member of a band perspective, but apparently, his ability to like run his business and like run like other businesses that he does on the side, like apparently he's really good.
No, he's really dude has like a mansion in Florida.
Like he's really mediocre at it. Like he's got
dude's got money.
Super good businessman. I mean, I think that's the reason why Attila does really well in the first place is might be the gimmick outlook on him, but I honestly do think he, from like a business viewpoint, he runs everything very well, and he knows what he's doing, so he can market to different like kinds of people, and it's probably made all kinds of connections, and of course we all know that's about half of really what it is, if not more than half, is like making the connections and build. I mean, just look at oh god, what's that rapper's name, like Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Yeah.
I mean, does anybody agree here that he's
like
the best. Super talented?
No, not even.
No, that dude's trash, dude.
Yeah, and look at how large he is. So if that tells you anything right there, I mean, there might be a small handful of people that are like, oh, like I really genuinely, think he's like talented, but a lot of it is because he knows people or like has a whole business thing or like
he snitched and he's got the drama following him.
Exactly.
Hey, if you don't sign me, I'm gonna snitch.
Yep.
Maybe he's just threatening. Do you think he threatens people?
Man, I don't know. Probably not.
I think people threaten him.
Yeah, I think he's on the verge of being threatened pretty bad.
Well, from what I hear, his album like flopped hard because he got like no one backed him. He got blacklisted like hard.
Yeah.
Like no one gave him any promotion.
Well, he was like fucking around with someone. Like,
well, not just that,
some
but like
13-year-old or some shit. Crazy. Ugh.
You can't be like the only rapper in a room full of rappers and go, fuck all of you. You're all shitty. I hate you. I'll fuck your bitch. But also, who wants to do some work with me? You know what I mean? Like
he's totally that kind of guy.
You can't do that, and that's exactly what he did. Like Nipsey Hussle died tragically. He went to Nipsey Hussle's fucking like memorial and shit all over it, and made a whole video about it. Yeah. Like he's not
just trashy.
Yeah, he's in the
what
scene, but he's pissing all over the scene.
He took a shit on the casket, bro.
Well, Nipsey never fucked. No,
I'm kidding, dude. You serious?
Yeah, I mean, a split second you had me convinced.
It was a rainbow
honestly,
shit.
People are that fucking crazy now. I wouldn't put it past anybody.
Nipsey never fucked with him in the first place, and him and another rapper like had the nerve to say something about Nipsey's death and about Nipsey's wife like shortly after. And so after he was released from prison and like bound for being home, he went on like a press run for his album, which was just a run of him talking shit to hella people to stir up drama and get eyes on him. And he went to Nipsey's memorial, talk shit. He went to like the memorial of some other rappers like Dead Cousin, talk shit.
He's
like,
just always causing drama at the worst times. Yeah, he just says not a good guy.
Yeah, I hear his last album did garbage numbers, so we might never hear about this guy again unless he like shoots someone.
Unless he snitches on someone else. Yeah, he snitched again.
I mean,
I'm just sorry to everyone.
He apologized.
You cannot be a piece of shit during this whole time of year. I mean, because it's all going to catch up to you. And I'm honestly surprised. Okay, so I don't know how much you guys are familiar with like Shane Dawson at all.
Yeah,
I know.
I hear about
he's gone down the toilet
lately
just from that.
Fucked.
He got shut down.
What happened? He didn't even melt. Okay, I've only heard his name before his meltdown that I saw on the cringe page on Reddit, and then I was like, oh my god, this guy's a shit show, and then his life is ruined, and all I hear about is this dude's life is ruined. This dude's life is ruined.
I heard
what happened? What's going on?
There's like a bunch of like
who is he?
Him making inappropriate jokes to some younger girl, but then like what I heard was the nail in the coffin was like he did something fucked up to like Willow Smith's poster when she was doing like the when I whip my hair back and forth, like when she was like 10 or something.
Yeah, and he acted like he was like masturbating to it.
Yeah, so
What?
Like, so like the
crazy,
Will
yeah.
family was like, I'm taking your career.
This guy a
and
YouTuber?
everything you
Yeah,
have.
so he's a YouTuber. He was
Cringe.
really in the makeup world. He was good friends with like Jeffree Star and like whoever is involved with like those people. But you know, he started out as a YouTube personality and would do like really. His idea of like really dark humor was like being like racist and making like pedophile jokes, or actually really acting
So
like
edgy.
he was a pedophile. Yeah, like really super weird stuff. And why I bring this up is because for some reason all of these videos that are like resurfacing on like Twitter and stuff are like 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, you know, like people were overlooking the fact that he was acting really insane and weird about like things that were never good back then either. Were never okay. Would never be okay like 10, you know, even 20 years ago, but were overlooked all the way up until now. I mean, obviously, like, you know, sometimes it takes time to, you know, like to dig your own grave when you're like a celebrity. Yeah. But either way, man, like he should have been canceled 6 or however many years ago, like 6 to 8 years ago. I mean, he was doing weird shit then, and I mean, he would get on like Stick Am and like ask like 12-year-old girls to like twerk. And
gross.
one of the videos was like him and his mom were on it together, like Omegle or whatever, like one of those like old like Stick Am things.
Worse.
Yeah, and she was totally like, I guess, condoning it all,
enabling the whole situation.
Fuck?
Dude's probably got some serious mental illness, you know?
Yeah,
and like
sure.
obviously
he talks about how he's had some like abuse happen in his life, which might be the reason why he tries to justify like pedophilia in some weird way. He's actually talked on a podcast and like explained like his justification for
pedophilia.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, not that he's actually like deliberately like you know like touched anybody or like, but he's definitely made jokes and talked about it and makes claims that it's all just for dark humor and being funny. But if you heard the shit that he says, it's like, dude,
you were predatory.
One, you do it too much. Yes, exactly. One, you do it way too much. And then you kissed one of your 12-year-old fans or whatever at like a meet and greet and said it was okay. Like,
then you have an orgy with a bunch of
just other weird shit. So
it just gets worse.
Why did it take so long for him to get canceled? I don't know. But from here on out, I feel like if we notice anybody doing shit like that, it shouldn't take 5 or 6 years for somebody to get canceled.
Definitely.
He should have been done a long time ago.
What's that one YouTuber that everybody fucking hates? He's the worst. Onision? Is that his name?
Yeah. I thought you were going to talk about one of the Paul brothers, but yeah, I know about it.
Oh my God, the Paul brothers are a whole other ballgame of cringe.
Onision's crazy.
I think they're
Chris Hansen did a documentary on this guy.
Well, I think for the Jake Paul brothers, I think the dad just got in trouble with like underage shit or something. I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know.
There was a whole video because I've seen drama video compilations on these brothers. There was a video that the two put out of like them having their dad kiss blindfolded girls who were fans of like the brothers.
It was really weird.
And the dad was like down as fuck. Like, I'll kiss 15-year-olds.
Yeah, dude. Pedophilia, bro.
Yeah, no
Problem.
Yeah,
exactly. Like,
no problem.
Apparently
put it on YouTube. I don't give a fuck. Put it on YouTube.
Right.
Pedophile.
Yeah, no, those people
Jesus.
like shit like that is insane. But like, you know, if it was just with Shane Dawson, like just he made some fucked up, miscolored videos back in the day, or like what they try to do with Kevin Hart with like fucked up tweets back in the day.
Well, wasn't it
like,
also Dan Harmon recently?
Yeah, Dan Harmon too.
Yeah.
Like, have you never? I'm sure both of you right now, when I say this, can think of something you did 5 years ago that still haunts you to this day.
Yeah.
That you think about every now and again. Like, why the fuck did I do that?
I always
I hate myself for doing that. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not living in the past about it per se, but yeah, I mean, there's
Right.
definitely, like,
I'd say I've
But like,
grown
if
from
something
it,
triggers it, you're like, man, I wish I didn't do that shit. You
Yeah.
know? But like, those people go through that literally all of the time. They just have way more money than you.
Yeah.
Like,
I genuinely think
they could try to
sometimes,
buy their way out of it.
yeah.
like I always want to. I never like to post any personal shit on Facebook anymore, but I realize all the cringy shit I used to post on Facebook all the time, and I'm just like, man, I'm just so sorry for anyone
Yeah.
that knew me between ages or the years of 2010 and 2015.
Yeah, same.
And that's not who I am anymore. It was a phase. It was a phase, guys.
Yeah, you had this Kellen Quinn phase.
It's
He had
a
the
different
long,
person.
The long black scene hair. I mean, well, I also used to have the long black and blonde scene hair, so I can't really talk.
Yeah,
Everybody,
I'm sure
I
looking
guess-
back on this now is
yeah.
kind of bad. Rare form is what I like to call that. You
Rare
know,
form.
Yeah.
rare
what-
form.
Wait, hold on. Are you talking about the After the Burial record?
Patrick gets
Are
too
you
drunk
familiar
and he
with
starts
that
putting
record?
on the scene makeup again like he's going on stage.
I start crying. I'm like the Joker, you know, just crying as I'm just back on.
Just one more show.
Like crying and laughing at the same time. Like, that's a good movie, by the way. The newest one.
Fucked with it.
It's good shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
good shit.
Joaquin Phoenix is great in everything.
I honestly
can't
have
imagine him
not
being
seen
bad
a
in
lot of
anything.
his stuff before that movie.
I'll give you,
But, yeah,
I'll tell you
Gladiator,
this. Aside from Gladiator,
her,
her.
Her
Watch
is like,
her.
damn.
Her is a movie that I see motherfuckers like posting memes like he's a simp or like couldn't get no bitch and now a computer. Like, no, that movie
Yeah, that movie
makes
was
you think
phenomenal.
about. Yeah, it made me
I
think.
loved it.
Yeah,
As soon
me
as
too.
I turned it off, like I sat down to myself like a good 10
emotions.
minutes. Like, what is a life? You know, like what do I view as a life? Does it have to bleed? Does it have to have like a skeleton and a body? Like, does man making it have really any effect to it? Does that really matter?
It makes love
Like,
weird.
It
makes love
it
real
really
weird.
questioned everything about everything to me.
The way that movie like really, you know, it throws in your face. This is, for those who haven't seen it, it's about Joaquin Phoenix falling in love with his phone, who's got an AI, and it's Scarlett Johansson.
Not just him, a lot of people.
Yeah, well, spoiler alert, it's an AI, and it just
Yeah.
makes everybody fall in love with it, and it's like a companion, whatever. And they do such a good job of like, you know, it's obviously a fucking AI you're talking to. It's just a robot, but it just feels so real,
Yeah.
and they do it so well, and it really makes you think about relationships as a whole. Like, I felt like I felt things during this. I'm like,
Yeah.
because it was like a bad breakup or some,
Yeah.
you know, and you can empathize. I think Joaquin Phoenix killed in that movie
Oh,
because it made you
100%.
empathize.
And he
in
had
that
no one
role.
to work off of.
Yeah.
He just had someone talking in his ear, and he had to like just come up with the emotion by himself.
Yeah. There's another movie called Ex Machina that I thought.
Oh, yeah.
that
We could
movie
go
blew
into
my
that, too.
fucking mind
Yeah,
too.
very
It's one of my top
similar
5.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the other movie that person created? Annihilation.
No.
That was
Annihilation. It's starring Natalie Portman.
It's good.
Kind of similar freaky mess with your fucking mind shit. Ex Machina, go fucking see that shit, by the way. It's
For
one of
sure.
the best movies ever. The music gets you in it. It makes you feel things. That's a damn good movie.
Very,
If you-
very
if you're
well
scared of
produced
bears,
movie,
check
well
it
put
out.
together.
Yeah, if you're scared of
If
bears,
you're
check
scared
out
as fuck
Annihilation.
about bears, check out Annihilation.
Bears are scary, and the bears in this shit are scary. But basically, there's like this, like, I think an asteroid or something that lands in like a certain part of like a national park or something, and it's creating this thing called the shimmer, which is like this radioactive other dimension kind of. I don't really know how to explain it, but it alters the DNA of everything around it, and it just is spreading. And the government's freaking out because it's spreading so much. And when people go in there, they don't come out. And so Oscar Isaac goes into the shimmer, and he doesn't come back. And everyone goes out there, and they see all these animals mixing with like flowers or bears mixing with other things that I don't want to spoil for because it was one of the most horrifying movie moments ever.
It was scary.
It was scary, but it really makes you think about like, what the fuck? I don't know how to explain it. It is so strange. And then he has another show that's out there on Hulu, I want to say. It stars
Devs.
Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman's like a game designer or
Devs.
something. Devs.
Devs.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the fucking
I haven't
show.
seen it yet, but I've been dying to.
It's really weird. I
Yeah,
don't know.
somebody else told me about
It's
it too.
really
I
weird.
haven't had a chance to check it out.
Yeah.
But
I
check out
barely time to watch
Annihilation.
TV. Like I wish I had more time to just dive in and have a whole day off, just watch TV. Like just like try to get caught up on movies. And I guess maybe we can roll off or segue into our next conversation. So
Let's do it.
What is a normal day like for Billy Zimpelman?
well, after beating my dick profusely for 25 hours straight on just Adderall and caffeine, I like to then hibernate for another 3 days and then do it all over again. And then, by that time, I don't get that whole, like, chafing, like, scars on my dick kind of deal.
Dude, you're going to start fire if you keep that shit up.
Anyways, no, but for real. So other than working at my job full time, I've been on this pursuit to become a producer, audio engineer. I've really been diving into it for about maybe 5 months or so.
Yeah.
But it's a thing that I've thought about off and on for easily
It's like perfect for you.
8 or 9 years. Yeah. So like, I feel like, well, I learned a lot of stuff about music on my own. I never had a single lesson in my life on how to play guitar or, how to do, anything that I know how to do now. It's just, I studied music very profusely, like back in the day. And
you're a perfectionist.
I just picked up on it. Yeah. And
if anything I know about you, Billy, you're a perfectionist. And when you really want to learn something, you bust your ass on it. That's just my experience of knowing you, though, for years.
Yeah, well, I'm like that, if not probably worse now at that. No, I maybe in some departments, but not. I used to get really hung up on like this one part has to be perfect, and I wouldn't be able to move on, and then I would get frustrated.
I remember.
Yeah. You remember times that I've been through where I had a hard time controlling.
We're just like, let's move on. Let's just move on, dude. Well, right, musically,
but
let's just move on.
So hyper focused. Now I can write a full song's worth of material of like different parts in about about 10, 20 minutes. And then what I do is I go back and restructure, reevaluate kind of like how the parts get ordered. And then from there, I can just plug myself back in and like go over like certain like tracks. So I guess that's kind of an example of how I like to do like recording. So I haven't really done an actual band yet. Like I haven't produced a band, but like, my ex-bandmate Nick Cias, he's an amazing, absolutely phenomenal bassist, one of the best that I know. Me and him are working on some stuff together. And it's been able to give me an opportunity to like start to dive into like how I treat producing and like how I do things in order.
Like a good test run.
Yeah, and I think I've got like a really good grasp on like what I've seen other producers do and kind of the order that they do. Like they don't get hung up on anything right away, and they create markers for like which part is which, and they have everything organized and the tracks and the buses and all that stuff. I won't get into all the technical like details, but I've definitely learned a lot of stuff in the past few months. I think I have the patience for it. And I'm just really looking forward to being able to get good enough to have a resume.
Yeah.
Once I build my resume, I'm hoping sometime by next year I'll have enough mixes ready, to be able to be like, hey, I can justify charging 100, 200, maybe 300 a song at best. Yeah. And at that point, I have to average like 10 songs a month-ish to almost make when I'm making it out back. I won't give an exact number, of course. I'm probably not allowed to say that. But like... that be when I could be comfortable to be like, hey, see you later. And they know I'm not. It's not a surprise or anything. This is what I want to do.
You lay it out for everybody. Like you just want to play music, man.
Yeah.
You just want to be involved with music.
Yeah.
You live and breathe it.
And I've gotten to a point now where I'm very comfortable with who I am as an individual, but also I'm a musician, and I feel like I'm ready to pass down the kind of inspiration that I've been passed down in the past, or like, what I can offer to other like musicians to help them spew out their creative vision. I feel like I'm in a position to be able to do that now very comfortably, and it took long enough. I mean, I've been playing music for like 15 years.
Fuck long time, dude.
Yeah, and I think my first band was probably like 8 or 9 years ago.
Was it Give Us the Night? That's when I actually
no,
you
that
guys
wasn't the very first. The very first actual band that I was in, not necessarily like
5 Stories Falling.
No, it was The Sky Spells War.
That's it.
I like
that was the first band I actually joined, but it wasn't. It never got too far to where I was like playing. They had played shows with some bands like the Number 12 Looks Like You and Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. Fuck, I haven't heard that name.
I think even the Devil Wears Prada back in the day when they first started. Yeah. But I never wrote anything with them. So and they had some member changes and stuff in the beginning. So that was technically my first band, and then
5 Stories Falling.
No, but you're close. I know that you know.
I know. Give Us the Night.
Set Sights Forward.
Set Sights Forward.
Set Sights Forward was the first actual real band.
Yeah.
I feel like in a way that like I was, working with the musicians, helping them like write stuff. I think it was Tim Thompson in that band was the main writer, but I was involved in at least an aspect of the writing at that point. I wasn't a very good songwriter during that period, but that was the first band where we were actually involved in like writing an EP or LP together. That was a really, really fun band to be in. And then it was Evade the Adversaries. It was like a pop punk hardcore band, kind of in the vein of like A Day to Remember. Yeah. And we really loved like The Ghost Inside too, so we kind of mixed that like hardcore. It was hardcore. Like pop
melodic
punk,
hardcore is what I would call Evade the Adversaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then after that, it was Give Us the Night. I was in those two bands at the same time at one point. So I can't remember if I had joined Give Us the Night first, and then it was Evade the Adversaries. It was sometime in between the same time I was in those two bands. I think it was actually Give Us the Night first, though.
Yeah.
And that... So there was a tragic happening in that band.
Yeah.
We had a drummer. His name was Alex Bain.
Yeah.
And he passed away unexpectedly. It was on Christmas Day, like 2010.
Fuck.
Christ.
I remember all that happening.
Very rough. I made some really good friends in that band, including him. He was one of those people that just had the utmost compassion and understanding for every single person that he met. It was just really went out of his way. He was an EMT too, if that tells you anything about his personality. Like, he was just like really cared about the human race in a way that I didn't understand when I was that young, and he opened me up to understanding that. So ever since his passing was a very like tough lesson on
His
me,
legacy lived on through you, it sounds like.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
I have this tattoo on my arm is all dedicated to him, this whole entire piece. Because honestly, still to this day, he's one of the most amazing people I've ever met. And I'll never forget what he said before he passed. We had talked, it was like, I think 12:30, so it was just turned a little bit after midnight, so it was just then Christmas, right? And, I think he went through his phone calling a lot of people, and it was kind of weird. It made me think, like, because it was an accidental overdose of what happened with him.
Yeah.
And it was weird because he wasn't really into, like, taking drugs or anything like that. We would smoke weed, and he wasn't really into that kind of thing, and we didn't, of course, pressure him or do any of that. But, I mean, he liked to have a couple of drinks maybe, and might have taken LSD in high school, like, once. So, like, he never really did anything. So it was a really huge shock to hear that that's, what happened. So I don't know if he was just, like, maybe like he was battling with demons that we didn't know about, and he hit him really well. I know that he kind of struggled with depression, but not any more than the rest of us. I mean, everybody now has depression.
Everyone's troubled, man.
Yeah. So one of the things that he said, he was like, "Merry Christmas, I love you, bro. Like, I'm so glad that, that we're in this band together, and if you decide that you just ever didn't want to do this, with us, like, I would respect your decision the utmost." Not saying that I had ever implied that I didn't.
He was just really appreciating your friendship.
Right, yeah, like, just really, like, valued it in a way that not many others had expressed. Yeah. So I held on to that really dearly, and I didn't think twice about anything happening to him in the following hours. And I guess he passed around like 4 or 5 a.m. or something, like very shortly after he'd probably talked to a bunch of people. That is
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely so insane.
You just never know when someone is gonna go.
Yeah, and it fucked me up for a while too. Like, every Christmas was shitty as fuck for like the next 6 years easily. Like, it's
all you can think of.
Yeah, and I mean, I still think about it every Christmas. I mean, I still cry every Christmas. It's just, it's really tough, to think about that, and then like, I don't know. All that I know is that the only thing I can do is try to take something positive from it.
Yeah.
I valued his friendship.
That's what he would want,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. His memory lives on. I mean, you're talking about him still,
For sure.
And I totally understand, man. Like, now, I talk about it I briefly talk about it on every podcast, but I mean, my mom just passed like 2 months ago, and I saw her like a week before. You just never know. You never fucking know when someone's going to go. And one of my close buddies, his brother just died.
Same. My close friend's grandmother just passed in the hospital.
Just fucking crazy.
Alex, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel for those people now, and like, you don't know how to, you can't explain it to anybody how you feel until they've gone through it, and that's as simple as that.
We love you, Alex.
Yeah, we do. We love. That's one of my best friends forever, and I feel for him. And
I don't know him as well as you both do,
Same.
but I know that we've hung out a few times, and I know he's an absolutely phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah.
Like,
I've done
that
like
dude
2
could show
podcasts
me up
with him.
any day, like 100%, and willingly too. Like I don't mind to, I'm humble enough to be able to say like, hey, like this dude just absolutely incredible. He's
one of the
he's
best
the
guys
type of guitar
I've
player
ever met.
that I've always wanted to be.
Yeah,
like
he
100%.
shreds too.
Yeah, and I know that he's a good dude.
Yeah, so it just, you never know when something like that's gonna happen. And I tell you what, when like that shit happened to me, I didn't realize how much love was really out there to give you during those tough times, because I'm sure when that happened to you guys, everybody was just flooding to you like, hey, we're here for you, bud. We're here.
Yeah.
This shit is moving, dude.
We all got together
crazy.
that night and just cried on each other's shoulders, and we're just really fucked up on it, because especially since everybody was with their families, and, we all got the phone call from the guy who I like replaced on guitar in that band. He was the one that called me and said that, and I responded in a way. It was just like you're fucking joking, right? Like, this is not the day. This is not the time. Like, what is this? Like, really? He's like, no, I'm dead serious. Like, he was found dead in his apartment. Like,
you know how hard that it probably is for people to tell.
Yeah.
Like, someone told me about the situation with me, and I was just like, I was like, there's no way I can tell my fucking brother, or like I can tell my other friends, I'm sure that's really fucking tough. And you just hear it and you're like, are you serious? I don't believe you. It's like instant denial.
Yeah. And a lot of it was because it was like the day, like it was Christmas Day, and I was trying to enjoy myself with my family, and that was, it was the time that I would have least expected to have a reality hit me like that. Yeah. But in a strange way, you kind of, not maybe in that exact sense of like somebody like leaving this earth, but like you need moments like that to put things in the perspective, because anything could change within the matter of a minute.
Just like
not
that.
To get too comfortable with where you currently are at, but also not to be dissatisfied with where you're at too, because I think that's a thing that a lot of people in our world now lack the capability of doing, is to be able to distinguish those two outlooks. Like, don't be satisfied with where you're at because you want to be able to build up progress and to continue to get better.
Don't get comfortable.
Yes, never get comfortable, but at the same time, don't be so uncomfortable or so headstrong about the progression that you're not embracing what you're currently doing, which is something that I massively struggle with for many years. I've always been really self-conscious, and like I used to beat myself up a lot. I also used to not even be able to talk correctly. I had a really bad speech impediment when I was growing up.
Exactly
that was,
what you mean.
Yeah, I stuttered every other word. I used to do it, I think, whenever we first hung out and met. I wasn't as bad as I was when I was in like elementary and like middle school, high school.
Now that I think about it, I know what you mean.
I got made fun of massively, and I understand that, like, the kids are assholes.
Kids are fucking assholes,
kids
man.
Are the worst.
They haven't grown empathy for anybody's like struggle, so they see somebody who's not like them, and they're just like, oh, look at this fucking guy, or look at this fucking girl. You know what I mean? Like, who the hell is this? Like, why can't they talk right?
It's so weird.
Like, he must be whatever blank word that's inappropriate nowadays that we probably shouldn't say, but like,
must be a mongrel.
Yeah, okay. Well, we can say that. Yeah, that's fine. No, well, they a long time ago, I was like 5 years old. I would go see a psychiatrist. They thought I was autistic for many years, and I mean, who knows? I might still be to some degree,
right?
Because there are people out there who are that you would never think. It just is what it is, but. So they thought that, I had less cognitive ability than some people when they were 5. I had the cognitive ability of like a 2.5-year-old. So this whole entire time when I'm in school, I'm like catching up on myself, or like trying to get up the par. And struggling so vastly to do that because I couldn't even speak a damn word, or like I wouldn't even be able to say like a full sentence without getting caught up and hung up on my words. And
you get so I remember you getting so frustrated with yourself whenever that would happen, I hear you, dude.
Yeah, well, now things have changed. I've learned to embrace my flaws. Not only just work on them, but knowing that some of them are just going to stick with you, and
you are who you are.
I know exactly what you
and if
mean.
somebody wants to talk shit about it, like, fuck them. I wouldn't do that to them. But if they want to do that to me, then that's totally fine. But I don't think that that's an appropriate way to approach or establish a relationship. It's one thing to, like, say things about somebody that, like, poke fun at them because you're friends and you've known each other for a long time, and
it's obviously a joke.
I know you guys do that with each other like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's a point where, like, these people in school just wanted to say shit about you because you looked or talked differently than everybody else. It's insane, and I think that still exists now.
For sure.
There's always bullying. That's never going away.
Adults seem to act more like kids in a lot of ways nowadays.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Well, it's
especially right now.
Yeah, it's
2020.
It's because as of 4 years ago, there was, like, this weird, like, shitty awakening of, like, shitty people who were buried underneath, like, nice facades because they knew how, like, normal people acted out and about. And then
Normal,
they saw,
quote unquote,
yeah, and then they saw, like, a real bastard come out on stage,
Yeah,
and promote hitting people and telling people that it's okay to hate brownies and stuff like that.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, this is the bastard sermon, so
yeah.
I guess it's okay sometimes, right? You can.
Well, whenever
How do you feel about that?
We're
Is it
always joking
justifiable
around.
being a bastard sometimes.
Well, it's as long as you're going for a ha-ha on the show, it's okay. But if you're like, I fucking hate blacks because the blacks did this, it's like, no.
Yeah, that's awful. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
like, you need let's turn this mic off and let's walk him out the door.
We're gonna cut this guy off real quick. Yeah, I mean, it's insane that there are people out there that don't view others as equals, because when you strip everything down,
so stupid.
The only reason why any of us are any bit different in the first place is because of environment and circumstance, from who you've lived around or, like, what you've been around, which is all, like I said, like, environment, circumstance deals. If
You're a product of your environment.
Yeah,
exactly. It's
and
like weird that religion is only geological based, almost, in a way,
I mean, it's not, because it's like it might be slightly different by culture, but in the end, it all has the same exact root. It's love and care and, like, spreading joy and, like, being in tune with yourself to be able to spread that to other people, to where we can finally unify. In a way, I feel like a lot of, like, spirituality is tied to that whole, like, existence of that one thing.
No, I think it's like, people have this super, super weird of false self-importance and
entitlement.
And
Lots of entitlement going around
like,
right now.
Like, it's not even just
Willful
the
ignorance.
It's not even just the counterculture or the cancel culture. It's like, if you're fighting for this, there's always going to be a post like, while they're talking about that, there's an issue that they're not paying attention to. You're not doing enough of this. And it's like, I got a lot on my plate. I can't care about everything and everyone. Like, let me try to be beneficial to this, and then maybe I'll worry about you if you're still got shit going on afterwards. BLM, okay, but what about the dogs in China getting eaten? Okay, do you care about them?
Then you're a hypocrite if you don't care.
Right? Like, how do those correlate?
I hate that shit. It's just like, can we just work on one thing at a time and just make some progress? But progress is slow.
But if you're doing progress, you're not doing enough, because you can be doing progress in other places.
Yeah, it's always like this big dick measuring contest. On both sides.
Yeah.
But I think if there was a dick measuring contest, anybody who donated to Notre Dame after the fire, like, won it.
What the fuck was up with that?
Because, like,
who's donating billions of dollars to this stupid fucking church? There's bigger things to worry about than this stupid fucking church.
This church burnt down, and, like, this guy's like, here's $5 billion to repair anything you need.
Dude, he could
anything
have done
else you need?
so much with that money, and not that I'm against, if.
Like, what about the Flint water crisis? Like, what are you donating to this fucking church for? Like, fucking save your people.
Donate some to the churches, or whatever, like cause that you believe in, because you're not hurting anybody by doing that.
Nah,
but
fuck the
honestly,
churches, man.
I would only be like, save the churches on a few circumstances. Like if we had literally nothing else to worry about, then I'd be like, let's refurbish that shit. You know what I mean? So I can walk my kids by there sometime and be like,
don't they have a nice
look
yard
at
over there?
all those ignorant people that killed a bunch of other innocent people to protect that. Did you know that? Like, like it's
what
incredible.
an interesting
and
fact.
they believed that there was a crazy man who came from another man in the sky, and he was the son, but he was also the same person. And then he kills himself for himself to save everybody that he created.
You would
did
be
that
a
for
really
you.
good,
He
you'd
did
be
that
a
for
really
you,
good
you little
neighborhood
shit.
tour guide.
right, you know, like we got motherfuckers not drinking water in Flint, Michigan. We got motherfuckers sleeping on the street. We got people taking baths in the
We're all gonna
Ganges
die in a
River.
climbing
We got-
Armageddon
Yeah, we
that
got
no one gives a fuck
Corona-19
about.
ripping. It's like, save the church.
It's
but-
so stupid. I
Yeah.
just
Everything
Fuck the
is
church,
very
dude.
much ass backwards nowadays.
Yeah, I don't-
you know.
but when I say fuck the
But
church,
I'm waiting for that counterculture though. Like this cancel culture is happening. There's gonna be a whole other wave of the exact opposite.
Oh, I'm
coming
sure.
Soon.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
And I can't wait for
it's
it.
it could be scary for all we know. Who knows?
Well, I mean, like right now, it's like cancel anybody for any reason. If
It
you're on
doesn't
their side.
matter what
Yeah,
they
exactly.
are. Yeah.
Whereas, like, I think like what's coming is like you said this wrong and you backed it and you promoted it and you knew it was wrong and it was hateful and now we're shutting you down.
Yeah. Well, when I was saying fuck the churches, by the way, I'm not saying fuck spirituality.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
I'm saying
Spirituality's
fuck
cool.
organized religion. You don't need fucking money.
Nope.
You don't need to fucking do all this shit, and you
Nope.
don't need to fucking preach to other people. Let people
Nope.
do their own thing and take the scriptures or whatever
Yeah.
their fucking
Shove
ideology.
them up your butt.
Yeah.
Just like do your own research or whatever.
Yeah, don't
But who the fuck am I?
I agree with you 100% because there are a lot of people who get indoctrinated to these
Yeah.
religions without
Product of your environment
being
shit.
asked
Did
for
you
it at all, and then they don't discover really who they are deep within. Like that is a part of any like spirituality, and that's why I don't think that religion is wrong, because it has the same root of what everybody's trying to get to, and I think that there's not one right way to do that.
Yeah.
But this organized religion thing where we like, you know, they make you
Every
feel like
Sunday.
if you don't donate, you're guilty, or if you don't go to church every day, like, you know, you should feel guilty
Yeah.
and feel like remorse, and, you know, you're going to go to hell, and
Yeah.
like the really
The hateful kind of.
Rhetoric.
yeah, like the nihilistic viewpoint that
Yeah.
certain people
Like
have
the
in these
world's gonna
religions.
end, the earth is gonna split open, and a dragon draped in
Rapture.
change is gonna come from the center of the earth, and then God will
I know
judge
people that
I
everybody.
mean, that would be
this shit.
cool as fuck.
That's literally out of the words of the last.
Wait, hold on.
lyric.
Is this from Breath of the Wild? Are you talking
Age
about
of
one
Calamity.
dude? The Bible is one of the greatest sci-fi books ever written.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
Check
most.
that
Number
shit
one
out, dude.
bestseller for many years.
It's
incredible,
the
bro.
biggest-
They got unicorns, they got dragons, they have demons, they have possession, they have
Everything you
resurrection,
want.
They have spells called prayers.
Yeah, split the sea, bro. Yeah, just go there. Fuck.
And you know they made an RPG game on Nintendo. It was a Bibleology or
Oh no, there was a
Fuck.
Jesus Christ simulator.
I just seen that. I just seen that from IGN's YouTube page.
Can we
the
look
other
that
day.
up?
Yeah.
yeah, please.
Yeah, it's Jesus
and honestly,
Christ
though,
simulator or
we
something.
do need to talk about Joe Rogan here. At some
Yeah,
point,
we're
so
on
we
the
did
same
have that
topic.
pulled
We're
up.
gonna get there. We're gonna get
Yeah.
there.
I'm
I
very
also have a
intrigued
lot of
about that.
really, really interesting questions for you, Billy. But we'll get to that later.
Very much looking forward.
Cody's
to
not
your
here, so
juicy questions.
I'm uncaged.
Yeah. Well,
We also have to roast Cody for a bit too. in a
oh,
bit.
for sure.
We'll
We're
get
gonna.
there.
I can't wait to shit on. Cody.
I have so many things written down, and he can't say shit. He can't interrupt me. He's got nothing.
Should we just like call him and like stick him in one of these microphones?
Yeah. We'll just Holy
Holy fuck,
shit.
That was loud as shit.
So this is Jesus Christ Simulator.
It's
I am
pretty
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Weird.
Hold on, is that the graphics right there? Or is
Oh
that...
yeah.
Dude, this is next
Holy
gen.
shit.
So Jesus Christ seeing some old lady.
So like you
He's
use
healing
your
her.
faith powers, like Skyrim magic, to heal her.
Oh, I can see.
It's super fucking.
He's giving people
So
food,
There's
fish.
a beggar with no food. He puts his hands out and he gives them fish.
I can't believe this is a real thing.
Dude, these graphics are way better than Skyrim, though. Like,
You can walk on water if you want, and then use your hand magic powers again and steady the sea.
Oh, it shows him fucking crucified.
You get to spend time being crucified, and you can look around.
Your heart is beating because you know you're about to fucking die. It's available on Steam right now. If we could have a listener fucking buy us I Am Jesus Christ on Steam, I will play it and review it. I swear to
Let's
fucking
do
God.
the Twitch stream.
Me and Patrick will start planning regular Twitch nights, and we'll set it up and play it.
Here, let's turn me down a little bit.
Like a complete playthrough is like 100 hours or more or something. Like
Yeah.
it's such a long video that they have to put it in like 80 parts.
Be careful though. I bet
it
that
goes
game
through the whole entire story of the Bible.
That game's probably longer than Breath of the Wild.
Oh, it has to.
You
be.
know.
Well, I don't know because there's
The
gonna
DLC?
You know, there's gonna be the time skip between him being born and him being 36.
Yeah, what
You know
happened
I'm
there?
saying? What happened? So if you guys would like to check out this sweet ass book, I forget who it's written by, but it's called Lamb. Lamb is a book that's written by Jesus's like best friend. It's a satirical. It's a satirical book.
Lamb and mutton.
Yeah,
The
it's
Book
like
of Lamb.
the Gospel According to Biff, Christ's Childhood Pal by Christopher Moore.
Buddy pal.
I could not recommend this book enough to
You've read it?
Yeah, I've read it. I couldn't recommend this book enough to people who find this stuff like funny or satirical. It's about Jesus Christ, you know, growing up, the missing years with his best friend Biff, who it's short for Bartholomew, I think.
Yeah, just everybody calls me Biff.
Yeah, Jesus is young, but he knows in his head he's supposed to grow up to be the savior, and he knows that he can't experience sin. He's supposed to be perfect. So he pays his best friend Biff to commit all of the sins so he knows what it feels like and why people do it. So
It's like some weird
like Jesus
fucking
gives Biff
jack
money.
off fucking thing.
Yeah, like Jesus gives Biff money to go like buy some prostitutes and go fuck a bunch of prostitutes
He's a
to the
cuckold?
point he
Jesus
gets
is a
gonorrhea.
cuckold?
Yeah. Like to the point he gets
He's a cuck.
gonorrhea. It's fucking nuts. He like and then like
It
he
stems
goes
from the beginning of time.
he visits the three wise men who like visited him when he was born, and like one of them teaches him like karate. One of them like teaches him how to multiply stuff with his mind. You know,
Whoa.
yeah, it's super wild. It's so
Ooh.
crazy. The premise is like an angel revives Biff from the grave and brings him to a hotel to write his verse of the Bible that hasn't been written yet.
I think this is great, and
It's
I
badass.
think the Bastard Sermon
It's really good
sponsors this book
for sure.
because we believe in Biff.
Yeah, I believe
I
in
mean,
Biff.
there were
calls me
bastards in the Bible, right?
Oh,
Oh,
loads.
yeah.
Loads.
There were
Bastard was one of the
sermons
famous
in the
words.
Bible,
There's tons
right?
of bastards. There's
You might as well call it
whores.
the
Hold on,
Bastard
is this a
Bowl.
religious community that we're? I didn't know this signing up into it. I fully don't support anything you guys are doing.
Little did you know, everything you've said has been a sermon. Oh God.
Ooh-wee.
So the other topic we brought up loosely was Joe Rogan getting into some shit on Spotify this week.
Is he being canceled, Luke? Is Joe
Little bit.
Rogan being
Light
canceled?
canceling. Light
Okay,
canceling.
yeah. So
Light canceling.
so here's the deal.
Light
It's the
dusting.
main office in New York.
Yeah.
They have
Spotify.
Yeah, they have workers that are really pushing to edit all of his podcasts before they come out because of the material being somewhat sensitive.
Didn't he?
And I guess
didn't he get
they
in trouble?
claim that he's like transphobic and like many other things. Like, you know, because basically I feel like Joe Rogan kind of sits somewhere in the middle of right and left.
For sure.
yeah, he's essential.
But
For
maybe,
sure.
But maybe in some aspects he sits more like right on certain things. So then there's this whole big disconnect, you know, like between like the conservatives and like liberals.
Yeah.
In this,
Because it's an
current world.
us versus them. There's no middle ground.
Yeah. So basically, like what they say is going on is liberals right now that work for Spotify are really trying to push to have certain things edited out of his podcast that they don't agree with.
Right.
And it's something where like, oh, I have to listen to this, and this is offensive, so I shouldn't have to deal with this. I want to edit it out, but I guess. Since, you know, they gave him, what was it, $100 million deal?
They gave him
or
$100
something?
million. Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. And I was thinking about this last night when I was looking it up. That's why I wanted to discuss it so bad. So I had this thought, and maybe it was just kind of one of those, like stoner moment thoughts where, like, oh, like, what if it's this conspiracy or whatever? But, like, I was thinking, what if because he hasn't been with Spotify very long yet.
No.
Like,
And
less
he's
than, like,
already
2
having
months or
issues, right? And
Yeah.
it's not necessarily. I think the head people of Spotify are trying to make it to where it's like they're like unedited, or like these people want to go on strike basically because they've had 10 meetings about this, and I guess the heads of Spotify are really pushing for them not to do that.
Yeah.
So they might there might be a big strike at Spotify,
I
but I'm
heard.
I could see
wondering
it.
if
Yeah.
somebody. They like roped him into this deal, right, so that they could cancel him because some extremist
Hold on, this is a
doesn't
conspiracy?
believe. This is what went through my head. I'm not saying that this is
Right.
gospel or that this could be it, but the thought popped in my head, and I wanted to express this to see how you guys feel about this.
I got a
Express it,
rebuttal
baby.
already.
Okay, so what if
Express it.
I will? What if Spotify roped him in on purpose?
Okay.
To cancel him.
Yeah, like to cancel him essentially, and to convince him with $100 million deal that he basically couldn't refuse because it's such a huge deal,
Yeah.
a huge, vast deal. So, like, in order to pull him off of YouTube, they claim that they didn't want to have any content control or control over his, what he says and does. This is why a lot of people listen to Joe Rogan,
Right.
and this is why he's pretty much the #1 podcast in the world, is because it's completely unfiltered. But also, he's not very biased to his viewpoints. He's willing to basically talk about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are people.
As
there's
anyone
always gonna-
should be.
Yes, exactly. And there's always going to be somebody out there that's going to not like a thing that he says and try to
Yeah.
push him out. And maybe these head people are like claiming that they don't want to have creative control, but maybe somebody roped him in to basically cancel him,
Yeah.
to just stir shit up and just to like do that, because I think that there are people out there that are kind of evil in that way. They just want to ruin somebody's life because, like, this person is doing so well, let's fuck his shit up. Or like, let's fuck her shit up. Like, whoever it may be, there's always somebody out there that's trying to ruin somebody's life because their life is so shitty that it makes them feel better about themselves to put somebody else down as low as they are.
Yeah.
No,
In some way.
I'm with you. I do think that, but I do think that Joe also would not have signed it unless there were like 2 specific clauses somewhere in the contract
That's
that were
what I'm
like,
thinking.
you can't edit literally anything I do, or I get to walk away scot-free, and I'm keeping this money. Like, otherwise there's no way I think he would have signed it. And like, let's say I'm wrong and that you are right. I think there's nothing that would keep him from like abandoning the show and just starting a new one with Jamie in the same studio and everything. Just new.
Right,
name.
like he's definitely not over if something like this happens.
Yeah.
It's just really shitty that like this is already happening.
Yeah, but I
with-
mean, it's
with
to be
Spot-
expected,
yeah.
because like before, like, Joe Rogan's, his podcast is huge. It's huge, but it's only huge to like people who, actively listen to podcasts or are sort of interested in the rhetoric that he, has on a show, whether it be from what he's saying or the guests that he's having on the show. But I think like, the way he is, and yeah.
No, go on. I'm just lifting my finger up for next.
I just think that he wouldn't make a decision without having an exit plan or an escape. But these people who are like trying to cancel him for what he's saying on the show now, they never really listened to the show before. They don't understand that he's got these views that like for sure are against everything the far left says.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he says things like, trans women, men who become women, should not be able to fight in the UFC or, compete against other all women in all women's sports because they're demolishing, records in that league in times. And, UFC men fighters competing against women could fucking like murder them. You know what I mean? Depending on like what kind of powerhouse we're saying is now trans. Like if John Jones said he's now trans and he's now fighting in the women's, there's a good chance he's going to fucking like shin kick a woman's leg open. You know what I'm saying? Or like split her skull in a punch. Not that I'm like saying they're inferior, but I'm saying like there's a physical difference between the two. And John Jones being at his peak against another woman who's also in her peak, that's 2 different things,
Right.
So like he'll say things like that, and then the people who work at Spotify are obviously like What?
Yeah, exactly. And they'll probably twist it and not understand the value.
So-
And he doesn't agree with Zimzer Zay? What? Yeah.
So my perception of what's going on with him right now, and I haven't listened to Joe Rogan in a while. I haven't had a chance to really listen to any podcasts recently at all, just because I just don't have the time.
He hasn't been too good since Spotify. He's had like 4 or 5 good guests.
I've heard, yeah, and I think Spotify is really trying to expand the horizons in the podcast department, because I feel like podcasts are kind of a new thing. If they can buy out the biggest podcast in the world, that's going to bring a shit ton of more subscriptions for them. So I can understand why they bring them on. But what happened, at least from what I've been reading on his page, is that he said something about the fires, and like saying that people were deliberately going over there on like Antifa was going over there and starting the fires, which is deliberately incorrect.
Yeah,
and
it's just one person.
It caused a huge fucking war on social media, and Spotify just really didn't know how to handle the fucking publicity that gave them. And it's like saying something bad and the whole company goes down over it, or you know what I mean?
Right.
But
So I think that's why he's being attacked, and why Spotify's trying to do this shit, because they're trying to not have to deal with that PR bullshit. But that's just me.
No. You're right. I think your point and mine tie together, because he's not just like him having certain viewpoints on things, but like he fucks up all of the time and says wrong things all of the time. It might take him a few episodes to correct
Usually,
it.
yeah, he comes back on it.
He corrects himself all the time. But now that he's on Spotify, these millionaires know he's on Spotify.
Yeah.
The cancel culture know that he's on Spotify. The cancel culture also knows that the person they hate, Donald Trump, wants to have a debate
So
with him as the
stupid.
leading person. So like enemy. He's saying the wrong rhetoric. I never heard of him before, but he's saying everything that I hate.
That's a good point.
Cancel.
I don't think he's getting canceled anytime soon. I think
No.
$100 million is probably pretty big contract where you're not getting
Right,
the
and
fuck
they knew
out
what
of
they were
this.
signing up for whenever they signed a deal with
Exactly.
him, that this is the kind of talk that he has. And
Yeah.
sure, I don't think he deliberately says anything wrong because he's like some piece of shit.
Yeah.
I think that he's willing to expand his thought process on things that he may know little about or nothing at all.
Yeah.
And sometimes in order to get to the bottom of certain things, you have to be willing to discuss things that you may not know. So yeah, you're going to say something wrong in between that process. The fact that we hold pretty much everything over everybody's head. I mean, you have to be able to distinguish, like, is what this person said really out of character to like who he is as an individual, like what he
Bingo.
stands for,
Yeah.
or is he just expressing thoughts about like, well, what if it could be this way? What if it's this? What if
Yeah.
it's that?
Yeah,
There's
that's
the
exactly.
world is full of infinite possibilities, and we may not like all of them, but we, in order to get to the bottom of what you need to know, you have to discuss things that are unsettling and things that you don't know a lot about.
You have to get uncomfortable.
Yeah, like
You
we're
have
not
to.
perfect. None of us are. So, the fact that we got to just say everything perfect now, or we have to worry like, oh shit, like did I say something wrong? Like I know in my heart that I believe that all of us are equal and that we should be treated as such. We should be allowed to say
I 100%
whatever
agree.
we want without,
Worry
hurting
about
somebody.
ruining your life. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And now it's like you really got to watch out, even if you know damn well you're not a shitty person. I mean, we can all be shitty at times, but like, generally we all have to kind of be more afraid of what we say.
Yeah.
And the reason why I wanted to talk about the Joe Rogan thing is because, you guys are doing a podcast now. It's like, I really hope that whatever they attempt to regulate in this world that doesn't affect like the freedom of speech in other ways. Since they're
I can't
trying to-
imagine that. If they don't want to work with us just because they're a private business, fuck them, dude.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, run your own shit basically is kind of how,
'em.
yeah. Mhm.
No, I think to be honest, and scared, I think it will, to be honest, have an effect on freedom of speech, because there is like we were saying before the mics came on, we were talking about Sacha Baron Cohen, and what he's been doing, but he had a speech the other day or like a week ago, and it was like largely quoted this line in his speech where it said, freedom of speech does not equal freedom of reach. So I think that when it comes to larger platforms like Rogan now, or larger podcasts in the future, I do think that if we continue the path that we're on, it will. I think that we will lose certain rights of freedom of speech for sure when it comes to platforms, depending on your fame, level and whatnot. But
It's true.
Yeah,
I can see. I know exactly what you mean now. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I
For
mean,
sure.
it's something to kind of look out for and worry about, which is why
You say one
this
bad
controversy
thing.
is so important to be able to like stay
Yeah.
studied up on, because like you just
it'll be used like like for Rogan's example, he said multiple people burned down whatever, and it turned out to just be the one. Like someone somewhere would try to find a way to charge dude for selling misinformation out to
Mhm.
millions of people, causing a reaction that then caused consequences somewhere for someone. You know, I think that's what they'll eventually try to get to if we continue on the cancel culture path for sure.
yeah.
But I mean, here's another thing I think about too. When you're the biggest podcast in the world, you got reach to millions of people. You know, there's millions of fucking idiots out there that hold on to every single word that you would say. And you have a responsibility to know that your words have actions. And I think you should hold that responsibility very strongly. But I totally agree that corporations, if you fucking know what you're signing up for, why are you giving a shit at all? You knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
You know Joe Rogan. Why did you put him on there if you got a fucking problem with it?
Get rid of the corporations, bro.
Yeah, I fucking totally agree.
Stop letting them put their hands in public opinions and
Totally
whatnot.
agree.
It's a control thing too.
For sure.
A lot of time, like, these people that are somehow dissatisfied with their life, even though they're making over $100,000 a year, probably working at the Spotify office and having some kind of hand in it. There's just people that whole entitlement thing that we were talking about earlier. I think that kind of has a lot to do with why people are so hung up on, like, man, I really don't agree with what he's saying, so I'm going to try to get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Instead of somebody like, Shane Dawson, for example, who's acting like he's some kind of weird pedophile, like...
Sounds like he is.
Weird,
Allegedly.
weird fucking
I don't
guy,
know this
right? He
guy.
should have been canceled however long ago, but then we're talking about, somebody who made, a slightly wrong claim on something that, like, was based on a fact that just wasn't the full view of the fact or whatever. Like, we all fuck up. We all don't 100% always know what we're talking about. I just don't think that these people should try to, like...
Yeah, listen to this podcast. None of us know what the fuck we're talking about ever. On the whole show, ever.
That's the whole point of it, is to get it all out. All the senseless garbage that goes on through our heads constantly every day. We just get it all out right now. Just like, hey, here, you want to hear what I'm spewing out?
I just had a thought. Joe Rogan cancel culture.
Fucking A, dude.
Fucking A.
Can I change this subject to something
Yeah.
serious?
Go ahead
Yeah.
and start something off while I go piss.
Yeah. Okay, Billy. It's just us here.
Oh, just us two. You want to light a candle? You got any candles here?
No, I don't got anything like that, bro.
Oh, you're fucking up, man.
But out of all the people on the podcast, Cody, Luke, and me, which one of us would be the sexiest grandpa?
That is such a tough
Really
one.
think about this for a second. Like, who would be the sexiest grandpa?
I don't know. I think it might be Luke for real.
Why you say that? I was hoping you'd say me.
I think he's just got this. He's got this charisma. I think you're second in line, man. I mean, you might
You think
tie
so?
with it, yeah. Because with you, you'd be kind of like like the Pixar short with the grandpa with the glasses
It'd be like
or
Up?
whatever. Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate being known as the guy with the glasses now. I wear my glasses so often now, Billy, that I feel like you ever like take off your glasses and people are like, you don't even look the same.
Yeah.
They get those reactions now, and I'm like, fuck.
Like,
man.
I could see your dark circles, man. Are you on drugs?
No, that's what I look like. That's what I look like.
You got bags. You're only 28. Are you on drugs?
So you would say Luke would be the sexiest grandpa?
I'm honestly gonna have to go with that. It's
I,
partially just instinct, though.
okay. Don't tell him you said that though. Leave that between us.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I don't want him to.
going, yeah.
Anyways, next question. He's coming back in. Why do you think our pets like to watch us go to the bathroom? Like, seriously, why do you think they do that?
We do it completely different than they do, and they're like, they have a whole ass seat. They get a whole throne, like a whole like seat to like lay your back on, and like a fucking, you're either standing up this way or you're sitting down. It's like they have so many ways that they use the bathroom. That's what they're thinking right there. Like, it looks the same either way. If cats are taking a piss or taking a shit, it looks exactly the same, right? They got one way. They just do the fucking squat.
The perfect squat, no wipes.
And then they like scrape it away. But they're like, what is this device that just like shoots their stuff down this hole?
What happened to your shit?
Yeah, exactly. and where does it go? There's too many questions to be answered, and that's why they're probably just like, I don't know what to think of this.
Sometimes I'll get up in the morning and I have a little miniature cat. She's a runt, so she's very small. You know her, little Luna, and she follows me to the bathroom. Yeah, she's probably creeping outside the door listening to our conversation like a psychopath. But I'll go to the bathroom and I'll take a piss, and the cat likes to peer over and like look at what I'm doing as I'm pissing, and then I flush it, and then she always looks up at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What are you doing? Get the fuck away from my penis?" You know, I'm taking a piss.
Yeah, like Jesus.
But this makes me think of a story. Rachel told me to ask these stupid questions, by the way.
Okay.
But it made me think of this time when I went to your house. And is it okay if we talk about your house real quick?
Is it my parents' house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about your parents' house for a second,
yes.
Billy?
Yes, let's do this.
I remember we went to your house to pick up some band equipment or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you had a couple cats in the living room, whatever. And then I follow you to your bedroom to go help you pick up your cab. And I turned to the right for a second because I see a flash of nocturnal eyes, and there's like 30 fucking cats on your bed, on your parents' bed, staring at me, and I've never felt genuine fear, like fucking what's Alfred Hitchcock kind of vibes from this whole thing. What's up with all the cats, dude?
Okay, yeah. So my mom.
How many cats you got over there?
Okay, so now I think she might be down to about 8 or 9. But at one point, I think the maximum amount that we had at one time was 23.
What the fuck?
Jesus
At
Christ.
once?
Yes, at once.
Just like adopted strays, like brought in or something?
Yeah, half of them. So we had this stray that came from some neighbor's house. It wasn't like a direct neighbor. It was like a street across from us.
Yeah.
And it just ended up having a litter of kittens about 2 times in a row. And my mom just absolutely is infatuated with cats. And
They're cute.
she's a wonderful lady. She's definitely not like your typical like crazy cat lady or anything like that. She's an amazing woman.
I would never have known that you had that many cats. Your house is very clean, and I never would have imagined. That was
She
such
kept
a
up
shock
with
to
it.
me
Yeah.
to see that many cats. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, usually
Most of them were black
Usually-
too, so it was just like that. So you can only see like in your peripheral just like glowing eyes. But since they're
There's like 20 of them.
I was just gonna say, usually when you have that many cats, like when you're reaching around the number of like 7 or 8, the area starts to
Reaching
smell
around
like a little like piss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like a little like kitty litter.
I would say, like this house, you would never think there, because you would think there'd be a big smell with
But
that.
there was
but
nothing.
No, the house was. I would say that the house was very clean and
most
smelled
days,
nice.
yeah. Most days it was good. Of course it had its days every now and again.
Yeah.
But like my mom kept up or tried to keep up with it every single day. Everything was clean, and we would obviously help out a little bit.
They ever like if you lay in your bed, did they all come and lay in your bed ever with you?
Maybe 1 or 2 occasionally, but I didn't. It wasn't.
But
like
not
a
like
regular
10 or
thing,
15
no.
of them at
Mhm.
once.
Were you ever like scared of any like specific cat? Like I don't want this in my room.
I want this cat
no,
out of my room. The rest can come.
Like this
the only
one's
reason
way
why
too
I would ever
growly.
kick any of them out was just if I was trying to get some sleep, and
Or
then some of
bait.
them were
Yeah.
like do that little thing where they're trying to like massage
Making bread.
your-
Yeah,
yeah,
making
exactly.
biscuits. bread.
Fucking, like,
Making
press on
biscuits.
you and shit. Yeah. And it's like,
I
what?
love that.
I'm really not trying to make biscuits right now.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, yeah, I was always I remember that. I was thinking that before you came over, and I said I got to bring that up on the podcast. I just remember turning and seeing all. You ever just feel like something staring at you? Well, I felt that like times 20, and it just like I looked over and I just was like, oh my God. I just thought that was funny.
I'm glad that you brought that up. That's definitely worthy of discussion.
Yeah, it's something else.
God damn.
It's interesting. So another thing, moving on, we're probably going to go for another hour, so we got plenty of time.
Are we
Sounds
hitting
good.
break at all?
If you want to, we can.
No, I'm fine.
I'm cool with keep.
Do you need a
do
piss
you-
break or anything?
Do you need a break, Billy? Does
Mm,
Billy need a break?
I would like a.
Billy busting a break?
I would like some tobacco.
Tobacco?
Yeah,
We can
alright.
take a quick break. That's no problem.
We'll take a break and we'll be back right after this with
Intermission.
more Billy
and then-
Zimpelman.
Yeah, coming up,
Boop, boop, boop,
soft-spoken
boop, boop,
teaser.
And we're back.
Hola.
We had a small break.
Yeah, we had a nice small break, didn't we?
Now we're back with Billy. And Billy, you've got something to share with the listeners.
I do. So earlier we were talking about my band, SoftSpoken.
Love it. Oh.
So we're putting out a new single October the 16th called Sleight of Hand. It became available only on Patreon. I think it might still be up if you sign up for it. And I think link is I think it's /SoftSpoken Music, I want to say.
Is it on your Instagram?
Only teaser clips are on the Instagram.
The Patreon link.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Go to SoftSpoken Instagram or their Facebook and you'll find that shit.
SoftSpoken Music is the handle for Instagram.
Check that shit
And we also have a TikTok.
Is it banned yet? Is that happening?
I don't know what the update is on that whole TikTok controversy. I'd imagine that they might be trying, but it's going to be around for a while. But here, I'll show you this little clip. This is the first TikTok we ever made, and Sam, I guess, made this yesterday.
We're infamously
shout out to
in
Sam.
love.
Go check out our
Shout out to
episode.
Sam Schuer. He is our singer. He's very delightful.
Go check out our episode with him.
So this is the first TikTok.
He was on the podcast too, by the way.
All right.
Just like hardcore rap while he's dancing and cooking food, pastries.
No, that's a steak with baby powder on it.
What?
It's some kind of a
Hold on,
baby
really?
powder challenge. It literally, yeah.
What? Hold on. What the fuck are you talking about right now? This is a steak, and he's
Yeah.
putting baby powder on the steak.
Yes. I
What's
asked
the- I
him
don't
if he
get it.
ate it. I didn't get a confirmation
I
on
fucking
that.
love this.
Hold on, I'm totally hung up on this, and we're not moving further than this moment until I get an answer. What
So
the fuck are
apparently
you talking
it's,
about?
Hashtag, it's a baby powder challenge. Hashtag baby powder challenge. Steak TikTok. Yeah.
That steak
it's
is in
new
a,
to me too. So
it's a
What
perfect
is-
circle. It's like a filet mignon.
Is that
Oh, it
something we
is.
can Google?
It is? He wasted a filet mignon?
Look up baby powder on
I don't know.
steak.
God damn it.
Baby powder on steak. What the fuck? What?
Maybe just type in like baby powder challenge and see if it's like other like various items. I don't really know.
Is it a song? Is that the thing? Because they said lyrics.
Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Baby.
New challenge. Baby
Okay.
powder challenge.
What the fuck is this? Because I. What is that? Okay, there's a video
Okay.
of all these people covered in baby powder.
New challenge. Baby
it's-
powder challenge.
It fucking looks like an episode out of Strange Addiction. You know,
Yeah, I
for all these
remember
that
people who are
episode.
eating
She was
baby powder.
Snorting baby powder.
God damn it.
I just can't help it.
Nope. Mute. What's happening?
They are
so she's-
spraying baby powder all over their home.
She squirted him with baby powder. What? Oh, this is a whole. Okay, this is a no. This is
It's
not
a
what I wanted.
14-minute
This is not
video
what I
of
wanted.
a 10-second video. On
All of them
repeat.
are
Is
relatively
this
long. it
baby
looks
powder
like.
challenge like stuck between these two? It
Can you
looks
just
like
go
it's
to
been
web?
a war.
See if there's no videos.
We're on web right now, bro.
46 million results.
Oh my god.
Baby
Baby
powder,
powder
challenge.
slap
Pinterest.
challenge.
Oh, the baby powder slap challenge
that
is one of
different?
my favorites. Yes.
It's different,
Okay,
but it has
so,
nothing to do with meat.
I don't think-
I guess Sam did a whole new rendition of it.
what is
Maybe
this?
he's trying to take it to a whole
It's
new level.
just pictures of people covered in baby powder. This has got to be some weird fetish of
all
some
right.
sort.
Well,
It's
anyways,
so
we
weird.
can't get hung up on this right
No,
now.
we can't.
I've got a teaser to show you.
Just so
guys.
you know, I really want to get hung up on it, but I definitely want to hear this single.
We'll come back
Yeah.
to it.
So I won't show you guys the whole single because I can't. But I can show you at least the first minute.
First minute?
So go ahead and
Hold the
You know,
thing on the computer.
yeah. Make sure that that's working officially first.
Hold
I
the
think you've got a little
ding-a-lang.
time before it actually kicks in.
All right. And
I'm ready to vibe, dude.
Yeah.
let's
So
vibe.
let's listen to the first minute. This is Sleight of Hand from SoftSpoken, out October 16th officially.
Good intro.
Thank you.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Ooh. Dude, that actually
that was
is
incredible.
Sick as fuck.
Thank you.
So you would say that this is like the evolution of the band. Like this isn't like anything you heard in the last stuff that we heard last podcast they were on. This is like a whole new
age of
revamped
soft-spoken.
This is hard spoken.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
yeah, I would say that it's definitely overall
cock-spoken.
heavier than the past stuff. But it's not like the past stuff hasn't been heavy in any sort of way.
For
I
sure
feel like
it has,
we've definitely went for a more like traditional, like post-hardcore sound on the Pathways EP, and then Death Perception was more like experimental. With like ambient kind of alternative rock with a mix of like post-hardcore, but then we had a song or two that was like really like metalcore style stuff. So we've always kind of like, bounced around with these different like genre changes. But I think now with this, we've really found
sound.
our confidence, and we're like developing a whole new outlook on the way to do this. And obviously like, Sam wasn't on the first record, and then Death Perception was his first record. Now that he's had time in between when that was written and to now, he's gained a ton more confidence in his vocals, and I mean, you'll definitely be able to hear it whenever it all comes out.
Yeah,
You'll be
for
able to
sure.
tell
Not
the
even
evolution.
just
He's
that.
really-
You can see it in
yeah.
like your guys' latest like pictures. I guess you guys have started posting for the band. You know what I mean? Like he seems to carry himself a lot better, like just in posture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm really bummed that I can't hear more of the song right now because I was really hyped on it. It is a really good song, man. The intro was very it already drew me in because I really like the ambient kind of shit, and I love when shit's really hard and ambient too. It's like my shit. Like I love the Underoath, the North Lane kind of shit, or Tides of Man, and it really sucked me in. And then you guys really threw in that hardcore riff, and it flowed so well with the lead. Yeah. And I bet after you guys wrote that, you were probably like, damn, this shit fucking pops, dude.
Yeah, I
can hear the excitement in the music.
That lighter, and then like the heavy guitar comes out. I was like, ooh.
Can we play that one more time?
Like it made me give the stank face,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, the stank face.
Like,
ooh.
Something smells heavy in here.
I definitely feel the power of the song. And the lyrics, I felt like you guys... not the lyrics. I didn't really get to hear the lyrics, but the singing and the melodies that you guys had in there really matched well with like the whole tone of the whole song. So it flowed very professionally, and I think that was incredible quality, man. I thought,
Thank you.
I'm super impressed. I loved your shit before, but I think this is really going to blow you guys up.
To me, it kind of sounded how it flowed, especially when like the lyrics started up. That like I could be wrong about this, but it kind of seems like the way you wrote the guitar parts and everything is to incorporate his sound to make his sound better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't just write the riffs. You're like, what can I write to benefit his sound and make this song sound exactly what I want it to be?
You know what it makes me think of a little bit? You ever heard of the band Nothing More?
No, I can't say I have.
Yeah. It makes me think a lot of Nothing More.
I got to check them out now.
They're really good. I think you should definitely check it. Very original kind of sound. Very, very similar to what you're hearing here.
I can't wait to hear this new shit.
But this sounds like a little bit more progressive, and I like that shit. I'm like, get a little bit more hardcore because Nothing More, like, they're good. They're really good, and I think you would really like them. Yeah. But they don't hit as hard as this, So, yeah, fucking awesome shit, man. Really excited for the rest of that.
Thank you.
And there's a music video coming with it, too?
Yes, that'll be on October 16th. It'll release as a music video.
What's the
and they can get that where at softspokenmusic.com or your Patreon?
Yeah, it could either be softspokenmusic.com or you could sign up for our Patreon
.com
What comes
/softspoken tier?
Yeah. No, that's not it. I think it'd be patreon.com/softspokenmusic.
Yeah. And we know it's on your Instagram, but
yep.
What do you get when you get into your Patreon? Like, I've always been curious because Patreon's like the future.
We
of
need to
music if
set
they're
it
gonna
up.
make
We've
money.
been dying to set it up for a
Yeah.
second.
It's a lot. Maybe we'll ask you questions or something.
Yeah, we just
later.
need content, to give to regular tier subscribers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we offer like extra content that wouldn't be posted normally. Like we're doing some covers. I think we're doing
cool.
a cover of a Slaves song.
Oh,
One of the
I
songs
fuck
off-
with
You
Slaves.
Slaves.
recorded on your own, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means you don't even have to wait on a producer.
yeah,
you can
I'm actually
literally
producing
you want to do this
this
cover?
cover. Yep.
Let's do it.
That's awesome.
Yep. I put Sam up in my closet in my home studio because my closet I turned it into a whole ass vocal booth.
Hell yeah.
So I put him up in there to record the vocals, and then he sent me some guitar tracks that I like modified and like put plugins on and like re-EQ'd and just did some things that I wrote the drums with Get Good Drums, which if you're not familiar with that program, it's basically real samples done by the drummer of like Periphery.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Really?
it's basically like whoever runs that band,
They slam.
it's their like drum setup. It's basically the best MIDI drum program in my opinion that you can get at this point, the most realistic sounding. So I wrote drums on that.
Did you pay for it?
Yes, I did.
I believe you.
Yes.
I really do believe you, Billy.
Oh yeah, so here is our Patreon. So yeah, you found it /SoftSpoken Music. So if you go down lower, so there's membership levels.
You get $10 off merch, 10% off merch, lifetime. Cool.
Yeah, work in progress updates, exclusive content, which a lot of that exclusive content will be either like unreleased demos or like covers of songs that we're working on that are like self-produced. I know for the first bit of subscribers, that, like when we launched it, I think it was the first week or 2 weeks, we were doing a deal where everybody that signed up for it, we had an individual song written for them on acoustic. So Sam would go through and see all the new patrons, and he would write like a minute like song for them.
Oh,
like
that's
a
super
personalized,
cool.
like acoustic jam, basically. So I know he did that for some people.
We should get him
I'm
on.
already getting Patreon ideas. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like it wouldn't be so hard once we get the hang of it. We just gotta
No,
get
yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
But I feel like we should totally get you and Chris on. I don't think I don't never talk to Chris, but we've had Sam on.
we have not.
I feel like
had
he'd be
this
an interesting
hands-to-face
person to talk
on.
Oh, absolutely, Chris. He is a fucking mastermind. He is kind of like our manager in a way. Like so we do have one, but he works and operates with our manager, doing management not just like for us, but for other bands as well. And a lot of the stuff that goes on like behind the scenes with like what how we like present ourselves and the marketing and the advertising. Like he is the mastermind of all that stuff. And I mean, he was the one when the band started. He was living in Japan. He lived in Japan for like I think 3 or 4 years.
God
he
damn.
was an English teacher there for
I know someone in the
a
same
history
position
teacher,
right
I think,
now.
for quite some time. So when he was there, he wasn't satisfied, I guess, with his current music project 100%. Not anything against the guys personally, but I think he wanted to kind of like expand on certain things. And we vaguely knew each other from the music scene because he grew up in like Walton, Kentucky or whatever. So like not far from here.
You used to drive a pretty far distance to go practice with them, didn't you?
About an hour,
Yeah.
I mean, we still do that because he still lives there. He just doesn't live in the same house now. But he wanted to move back to the States. He wanted to start a band, and it was a lot kind of like it's like we want to do things in the vein of like As Cities Burn, Under Oath, to name like a lot of his favorite bands. I'm like, what, I've kind of always wanted to do a post-hardcore band, and this at the time was when things with Allies Aside were kind of starting to diminish a bit, and I think he noticed that and was like, hey, I don't know what's going on with this current band, but I want to start this project, and I like want to like take it seriously and whatnot, and I knew just like things were kind of hitting a standstill, with Allies Aside, and I was crushed. I remember the conversation where you came over to my apartment and I told you like, hey, like I'm leaving and I'm doing this, something about this feels right. I have to go with my gut. And it was even a hard decision for me to make because this, I was like, what, this is like the sixth band that I've tried. And it's like, what, like most people would give up and be like, this shit's not working. And there was just this undeniable faith that I had in what he had presented. Although I didn't know him very well personally, I felt something from this. Like, this is right. Like, this is something. This, for some reason, this feels like this is what
You
I've
guys are
always
killing
wanted to
it.
do. So now we're looking back 5 years later,
Mhm.
and I think we're on the way to something cool.
So Chris is the guy who was in Japan being an English teacher?
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh man, I
Mhm.
need to have him on the show. He needs to be my Japanese teacher.
Yeah, he speaks very fluent Japanese.
I've been
incredible.
learning for like the last year, but I
What?
only know like basic conversation stuff. Yeah, I've brought it up on the
Say
show here
something
and
to
there.
me.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
That's more than I know. A+.
I should know more just being around him, and he's married to a wonderful woman named Yuka.
I go
and they
Hanase
both-
Masuka. Sorry.
They both live together now. She lives here.
Nani?
With him.
That's all I got. Yeah, but she.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's it. Sorry.
So yeah, they're living a great life right now. They have a wonderful son named Alec, and he's gonna be a natural musician when he grows up. He's already playing drums.
Dang.
Speaking
And,
3 languages.
Probably, yeah. He gets the best of both worlds, where he hears them like speaking like Japanese together, and then
Yeah.
like speaking English. It's insane. It's so beautiful. I'm so happy for him and what he does. He's like one of the hardest workers I've ever met. So determined, so very just like warm and accepting. You know, it's just
Yeah.
if you're listening, Chris, I'm just talking.
wanna
to
kiss him?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. But yeah, I'm really grateful that he came at me with an opportunity that I couldn't refuse, and now we're sitting here,
Right.
you know, talking about this. I didn't think that things, you know, would exactly go this way. I wasn't sure at first, but at the same time, I had this undeniable
Sometimes
faith.
you
So
just
it's
got to take a jump, dude.
yeah.
So like, was he?
It works out.
How did you guys know each other while he was in Japan? Like, how did he hear of you?
The music scene,
The
essentially.
music scene.
Yeah, like
he's just in
knowing that-
Japan, just loving Ohio local music.
Well, he's
Like-
from like
Well,
the tri-state.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
no, like he grew up in Walton, Kentucky, but was in relation, like, you know, he played in some like progressive bands like
Okay.
back in the day, and he actually played in a band called Ex Machina. I know we were talking
Really?
about that movie. Yeah, and they were a lot like Lower Definition.
Yeah,
Were you familiar with them back in the day?
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, so like Emarosa.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Lower
Hey, I
Definition,
fuck with
like, kinda-
Emarosa.
yeah, so they were a lot like them, and so we knew each other. I think we tried to actually join forces at some point in the past, and just things didn't work out. Whether like he was involved with something
Right.
and I wasn't, or I was involved and now he wasn't. So there was a disconnect there. But we knew each
Maybe
other
it was
from
just
that.
meant to be.
Knew that, yeah, like somehow just knew that it's like, hey, like you're a really talented guitar player, and I want to be able to start something with you. Like, I think you'd be a good fit for this project. So basically, he's the founder. I'm the co-founder of the band.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that's the humble beginnings. And we've had a couple of lineup changes, more than anticipated. 'Cause
That's
in the beginning,
always
we're like,
happens though.
we're gonna be the band that's gonna like be like the most proud and have the same member lineup for like 6 to 8 years. And we thought it was gonna be like that. And, shit happens, and it's cool. And
It always happens that way,
I'm
man.
really good friends with pretty much everybody that we've had in the band.
Mhm.
They're all really great people. Life happens, and it just is what it is. But we're all very determined as this 3-piece. And we do have a drummer. He's just our behind the scenes drummer. His name's Cole Clark. He is also our producer, along with Andrew Bayless, which he was the guitar player for Life on Repeat.
Oh, I love Life on Repeat.
Yeah.
Pop music with
sick band.
balls.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then now he plays in a band called Nine Shrines.
I've heard of that too.
So yeah, the stuff that you heard from that song is like produced by Andrew Bayless and Cole Clark over in Lexington. They've got an amazing studio over there. It's Cole's studio, but Andrew Bayless, he flies in from Cleveland to record other bands. And he just got done with the new Varsity record. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Varsity.
We are.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't Marlene in that?
Yes.
Yeah, she's the one that's
Mhm.
giving me guitar lessons right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a great guitar player.
Super good guitar player. She's an awesome teacher. If you need lessons, hit her up. For
And
real.
I think we vaguely talked a little bit because we've played with Varsity whenever she was in the band, and then we played with Varsity quite a few times in New York when we were on tour. We played their hometown, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Oh, real quick,
Brooklyn.
Marlene Mendoza, she just released a new single called Karma. Just go check that shit out. I haven't checked it out yet, but I just heard about it.
I'm gonna say
and I wanted to give her a quick shout out because she's fucking awesome.
Okay, let me write that down real quick so I don't forget.
Karma.
That's the song.
Write it down, Luke.
On what?
Yeah, where's
Write
your
it
pen
down.
and paper, dude? Come on.
He's writing it down.
What are you doing? If
Good.
you're not listening to Karma right now, what are you doing?
Yeah, you need to listen to some Karma right now, dude.
And then once you're done, get back to the show.
Yeah, we need to get them both back on, her and Brad. They're great. Funny.
Yeah, I haven't seen Brad in quite a bit of time. He was nice enough to be able to. I guess he was doing this thing where all the bands that were directly affected by COVID, he would buy like a piece of merch from these bands because we were just touring like a decent amount and starting to pick up in that means. So I messaged him, was like, hey, you're it's like whose merch can I buy or whatever, and I posted my link. I was like, yeah, we were touring and now we're not, like anything helps, like if not, no big deal. And he bought a shirt. So that was really nice of him.
He's real dudes.
Yeah, he's real
He's a good dude. Hit him up whenever. He's always down.
And apparently he's a fucking boss at Rainbow Six.
He's such a boss at Rainbow Six, dude. He doesn't want to admit it, but I introduced him to that game. I did.
He doesn't want to admit it.
I did. Sorry, I just have to toot my own horn a little.
Oh, that's okay.
No, dude's getting like 70,000 hits on his videos and shit. I'm like, wow.
Cody Coco went over to like Sweden or something for a championship or something like that.
Win a Halo championship too? I actually asked him.
I think that was in States though.
Yeah, I heard he won like a bunch of money or something. We should get him. I would love to have him back on.
I've been talking to him for a long time about coming on the show. He's one of those dudes who's like, I'm coming on as soon as I got the band and like the art page together. Like it's like, okay, you get it together and come talk to me. Like just get on the show, bitch.
It's like, man, don't wait to come on.
We don't need a reason. Let's just have fun.
Yeah.
We'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Luke, speaking of like fucking awesome achievements, this is going to totally segue, but you got a fucking new car, dude.
I did.
What'd you get?
I did. Thank you. I got
Don't clap for yourself.
I won't. I wouldn't ever. I don't like myself enough to clap.
No, I won't.
Fair.
I got a 2019 Nissan Sentra S.
Damn, son.
Man.
I got in the driver's seat. He let me sit in the front seat despite COVID. Which
And
I don't know if that
it.
was safe for you or not, but
And you
hey,
loved it.
I got in and it was a nice car, dude.
How'd you like that lumbar pillow I put there?
That was actually really nice too.
I
was surprised. I was like, I saw it. I was like, what's up with this? And I sat on it, like one of those little like seats you could put on like a car seat that make it a little bit more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it was pretty nice. I won't lie.
Super
I
nice.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. My ass was comfortable.
Yeah, man, I got it. I was driving to work last Thursday, and I got off of 275 on a 71 South. And or 75 South, and
Important detail of the story.
as soon as I got like past exit 15, my car started like shaking, and I pulled right the fuck over.
Oh no, it was shaking.
It was tragic, man. Like I pulled over, I popped the hood, and like I just changed my oil a month ago, like myself. Like I don't pay $60 to $90 to get oil changes. I do it myself, because I know how to do it.
Fucking man.
Except
over here.
now, motherfuckers are gonna be like, next, maybe you don't, because I pull over and I pop my hood and like I pull my oil dipstick and smoke's coming out, and I'm like, fuck.
Engine's done.
Engine's done.
It's
the
done
rattling
when the
I heard
smoke
was
happens.
the piston just smashing the engine. Yeah. So that car died. It took me like 2 days to get confirmed death for sure.
Confirmed death. Confirmed kill.
And it was
for your car.
And like I paid like $6,500 for that car, like cash up front when I got it.
Yeah.
And so I haven't had any car payments.
It was a Pontiac, right?
Pontiac 08 G6, and
bitches.
And like I'm talking to like my mom, because I've never like car shopped myself, like legit car shopped. Like I found some like hoopties and had enough money, threw it all to them, so I never had a car payment and took the car and left. You know what I mean? Like I never been to a dealership.
It's kind of intimidating.
It was super intimidating.
Yeah.
So I took my mom with me, and she's like, just fucking ask. Like they want to sell you a car.
Yeah,
like
they
you are
do.
not trapped in anything. They want to give you a car.
They will give you good deals to sell you a car.
I pull up to like Jeff Weiler on Coleraine Sunday
Shout out Jeff Weiler.
Shout out Jeff Weiler. Go
My
talk
boy.
Go talk
My
to
boy,
Patrick.
Jeff.
Go talk to Patrick, salesman Patrick at Jeff Weiler. He'll hook you
Patrick.
up. He's my guy. Yeah, his name's Patrick too.
Did you say, hey, I know a Patrick?
I didn't actually.
Damn, you didn't drop the podcast
I'll
name,
pull
right?
up. I'll pull up another
man.
day and let him know.
I know a Patrick.
So I test drove like a 2017 Pontiac, or not Pontiac, 2017 Nissan Sentra, and he was like, I was good to go. Like
Yeah,
this, like
I
this
like
is
the
it.
Nissan
Like I like
Sentras.
it. Like this is it. And then my mom's in the back seat of this test drive, and she's just like skimming on her phone for other cars in their lot, like as we're test driving this.
Yeah.
And she's like, "How about this 2019?"
That's a tactic. You
How
know,
about this
that's a sales
2019?
tactic.
So,
It's
like-
a counter sales tactic. You
So
want
I-
to let them know, like, hey, I'm looking at other places, so you better give me a good deal, buckaroo.
Oh, I've had 2 other
Yeah.
car dealerships I was in the talks with call me since I've purchased this new car, and I've had to tell them, and they've called back.
You're going to be getting pieces of mail for months saying, your car warranty's expiring. Your car warranty's...
Dude,
Don't fall for it. It's a scam.
I had calls about my car warranty when I had no car warranty, bro. Like, I was
Prepare to
getting
get
called
a
about
lot.
the Pontiac.
You're going to get a lot.
Yeah, man.
a scam.
I got a brand new car, y'all. Shout out to the Bastard Sermon family. Y'all donations bought me a car site now. Y'all don't give us fucking nothing.
Patreon
Y'all
goes-
give us nothing. No, I'm just kidding. No, I got
It was our Patreon.
I got a 2019 Nissan Sentra S, 38,000 miles for only 13,700.
Dude, that's a
fucking
stupid good deal.
Yeah.
You know, car shopping, the worst part about car shopping is sitting waiting for them to give you the paperwork to finish it all out.
It was nerve-wracking.
You wait for fucking
Yeah.
hours waiting for them to fill out all the... I don't know why. Just give me the fucking paperwork. It's a
Yeah.
fucking car. Just give me the... I'll sign it. Just give it to me. But
Dude,
no, you have to go talk to accountants.
And the credit check.
Yeah, the
and-
credit checks. And then they have to go back and forth. Let me talk to my boss real quick. And it's just
Yeah.
like stupid shit.
Well, see, my Patrick, the salesman, was a fucking new guy. He was a rookie. He was a greenhorn.
Fucking Patrick.
And
man.
he kept having to leave his desk like, I'm sorry, I don't know much about this. I'm going to go talk to my boss. And it's like, so he was constantly going back and forth from like helping us to talking to his boss. And like the credit check took like an hour 45. And then, yeah, dude, we were there for like 6 hours essentially.
You sit there
Holy shit.
forever.
Yeah.
Anytime you're getting a car,
And,
when
like,
you're
I
getting
had-
a brand new car or a used car, like you're gonna be sitting there for hours.
Yeah.
It's a whole day venture.
I had
Man.
like my 1 year anniversary with Liz. Shout out Liz.
Shout out Liz.
Shout out Liz.
Hi,
1 year. We had
Liz.
1 year together last Sunday.
Oh,
Oh,
So I got my car that Sunday morning, and I'm supposed to like get with her to start celebrating and like get to the hotel and start like setting
The
up and
hotel.
shit. Yeah. And it was
You know what that
it was
means.
a good 1 year. It was a good
Oh, yeah.
1 year. So like I'm sitting there
Roaches in the shower.
in the car dealership, like trying to get this fucking car. I got there at like 10:40. It's now like fucking 3 o'clock, and I'm sweating like she's gonna fucking freak out.
oh,
dude.
I've
Like,
been here way too long.
yeah, dude. Like, this needs to go.
Look, buddy, we need to hurry it up along. All right? I got a lady waiting for me at the hotel. You know
And
what I
she
mean?
is not understanding.
damn! You're gonna just blast her like that on the podcast?
Happy
Happy 1 year anniversary.
She doesn't listen, and it was a good joke.
Shout out. Dude, I mean, it sounds like, honestly, though, from what you told me off the podcast, is that you had a damn good day, though.
I did.
You
My
needed a
my
win.
whole Sunday, Monday, and up to this day has been pretty fucking great all
Fucking-
around. I haven't had any shitty news, but I go back to work tomorrow, so I'm sure
Oh,
it's
shitty
downhill
news.
there.
You're
You
going
want,
back to
you
normal.
want shitty news?
It's been a good 5-day break, you know,
Yeah.
mini vacation. So
Good for you, bud.
That's
Yeah.
tight. Hell yeah.
Happy for you.
Thanks,
Getting a
man.
new car's fucking stressful, though.
I've never had a car like this. I never even like, dude, I'm poor. Like, I was poor as fuck growing up. Like, you don't understand, my guy. Like super,
My
super
guy.
poor. So, like, I never thought I could just walk into a dealership and walk right the fuck out and be able to, like, fully pay and keep everything without sweating. Like, get a brand new car. Like, in
It's-
my head,
yeah.
that was an actual impossibility.
You're going to treat this car like your little baby.
Oh, I
'Cause
do. It still doesn't even really feel like mine. It feels like I'm borrowing someone's car and I don't want to wreck it.
I
Right.
bought 2
You're gonna
cars
feel
of
like
my
that for a
own.
while, I'm sure.
I bought 2 cars of my own. I was usually driving hand-me-downs. I drove a van for a little bit. I think Billy remembers that. I used to drive a fucking minivan for a little bit. Then I had a truck, which I don't seem like a truck guy, which is so weird.
No,
you
you
really
don't.
weren't. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Really
it was
weird.
seeing you drive
It
that.
was so weird. No joke. It was a weird experience. And then the next car I got was the Nissan. Or no, I can't even fucking think. Honda. I can't think.
Honda something.
Yeah, Honda Civic. I don't know why I'm brain farting right now.
Honda
I've had a couple
dependable.
drinks. Yeah, never expected to get that car. I was gonna go get a Nissan Altima or Sentra, and I had my eye on like the sick ass Altima, and I get to the lot, and the whole door it looks like it's splattered in white paint. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I feel it. It's rust. I'm like, I'm not fucking buying this car.
Wait, white rust?
Yeah, it was. It just felt like it was rusted out. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Little
it's hard
did he
to
know
explain.
it's white
Gotcha,
bird
yeah,
shit.
it's
He's
like,
just
huh?
wiping his hands through like,
You know, I never
what
thought
is
about
this?
that.
Dust?
It should. It totally. I never.
Did
I
somebody
literally.
try to paper mache this door? Like, what the fuck is going on?
I literally never thought about that until
Until
now,
right
and
now.
it probably totally was goose shit or something. Like that's the only thing I can think of it being now. You're right.
no.
White rust. What am I thinking? What am I thinking
That was
right now?
bird shit, Patrick.
Oh
That reminds me of that scene. Have you ever seen the movie Black Sheep before?
yeah.
Where he's like walking down the trail and those fucking like hillbilly kids like run the fire like extinguisher on him, and then he walks back to like Chris Farley's character. And it's like, it's like, oh look, you got covered in mud. And he was like, yeah, because I'm the only person who gets just gets doused with white mud. I didn't say mud, I said crud. Did you fall into some
I
crud
remember.
or something?
Good
I
ass
fucking
movie.
love that. That and Tommy Boy. I mean, you have never seen any other movie where there was a dynamic duo like that in two different movies.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, they're
what other
great.
movie do you
Rip
know where
Chris Farley.
yeah, well, like the two same main actors are in a separate movie. Like, I don't think there's anything else like that.
Well, Jonah Hill and Michael Cera, that's a good example.
Okay, yeah, true.
Fucking
Now that's to say
I didn't
that
even think of that.
either
James
one-
Franco and Seth Rogen. Go on.
Okay, yeah. You're right.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you're full, I was gonna say that's to say like if either of those actors are on the same level as Chris Farley.
No. Well, they're comedy. You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
They-
they were totally different personalities, and
Totally,
obviously, Chris Farley was hopped up on a lot of cocaine too.
Yeah, one's
so-
a cokehead,
sure.
one's a pothead.
Well, he lived down by the river.
down by the river.
Down by the river. Yeah.
My
Yeah,
name's
he's
Matt
definitely-
Foley.
Was definitely that's funny. He was definitely like a one of a kind, you know.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. It was a big deal when he died. I remember being really young when he died.
Yeah, I think he
But-
died in like what 97.
Yeah, I was really young. But
98?
we all loved his shit on like Saturday Night Live and all that.
Yeah.
But I was really sad like when Robin Williams died. Not to bring this to a crushing, depressing halt.
Yeah, of course
But
not.
Robin Williams.
Yeah,
Like, I
Robin
cared
Williams
about
fucked
that
me.
shit.
It fucked me up too, because like, I think just a month or two prior, I had just seen The Greatest Dad on Earth, which was like about like his son or something, like accidentally dying from like asphyxiation.
Oh,
while trying to jerk
yeah.
off,
I saw that too.
and I'm like, what the fuck?
Whoa. I
To be
not
honest,
ever heard that before.
Not a very good movie. It wasn't a very good movie.
It was fucked
yeah,
up.
Rotten Tomatoes
it was
probably
fucked
gave
up.
it like a 2.4 or something.
It was
Yeah.
also
But
like
it was touching because it was his last movie. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
not.
no, it wasn't his last movie, but it was fucked.
Interesting.
I do remember being genuinely upset that
Yeah.
happened. I was just like devastated.
Well, I, like that, like you know, I'm when I was in high school, I won the most likely to stay young at heart. You know what I'm saying? So, like
Yeah.
I got.
Were you?
Yeah, I was in my yearbook.
What a weird
I can prove it.
award to get.
I can prove it.
I could see that though. How old are you?
I am 26.
Did you get made fun of for having that award?
Nope.
Okay, well,
Nope.
never
Everyone
mind.
loved me in Coleraine, even people I didn't know.
You
went
were
to
beloved
Coleraine?
by the whole community.
I was well. I wasn't. Chuck was.
Chuck,
Yeah.
is
it
that
was-
what you?
That's
your
an
alter
alternate
ego?
identity.
What
yeah.
up? You have an alter ego?
Yeah, I thought that
Who's
was clear.
Chuck?
Chuck was
I'm
me in high
impressed.
school. Chuck was me in high school.
Where you like wear this leather jacket?
No,
When you came up in a sports car and you
No.
pretended to
So,
smoke
like-
cigarettes, but they were the candy cigarettes.
I went to, I've said it on the show before, but I went to a super poor Catholic school in Price Hill called Resurrection from kindergarten to 8th grade, and I didn't have a good education, and I didn't. It was terrible.
I'm familiar
and
with their sporting events.
so.
St. Dominic boy here.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
You've crushed us, I'm sure, by like
Yeah,
a
we
billion
crushed you.
points every single single game. I guarantee
That's what I was
it.
getting at.
Dude, that
Yeah,
sounds
so-
like the football team from my high school. I went to Northwest.
Oh,
which is-
yeah.
which is the other Coleraine
Yeah.
Township High School. And all the good players would go to Coleraine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the football
That's how that
league was like what was funded out of everything.
It's like a generic version of those schools or something. Is that what you're saying?
No, so like my school was my graduating class in 8th grade was of like 12 students. And then I came into Coleraine where I knew literally nobody, and my graduating class was like, I don't know, 600, like 500 or something like that.
That's a lot.
It was fucking crazy.
That's
I don't know.
massive.
Cody will
had like 1,000.
Cody will listen to this and be like, "Nah, you're wrong as fuck. It was this number." Or
It was
something,"
exactly
but, like,
342.56. Doug Stanhope told me that this was, and Joe Rogan is right. And if you don't
And
cook a steak-
Cumtown makes this money.
yeah, and our tens of listeners.
But anyways, I made that jump from such a small school to such a large school, and one of my first classes my freshman year was like PE, and I met this kid named Andy Schnoyer. And he said he didn't know me, but he walked past me.
This is gonna be interesting.
He walked past me every day in
Sup,
gym
Chuck?
to go sit down. In Coleraine, like you had a row and you sat down in your spot before gym started. And he would walk by me, and like I don't know, like the end of my first week there, he goes, "You look like a Chuck," and I go, "Nah, my name's Luke." And he goes, "Yeah, but you look like Chuck Norris." And I go, "Nah, I don't." And he goes, "Yeah," and then he just kept he just kept calling me Chuck, and then from then on it stuck. Like Chuck was my name.
Chuck
Stuck as Chuck.
And I've lost
Stuck as
friends.
Chuck.
I've lost fucking friends over this goddamn nickname. Like,
well, did you defend it?
no, it was like
Where you're like, I know it's not Chuck.
it caused
I'm
me
aware.
a lot of depression in the future and a lot of like
Psychological
questions in my
issues? This
like
guy just says
who
you
is
look like Chuck?
who is me and who is like the guy putting on the show for the people? You know what I mean? So like
when I'm Chuck, I'm a totally different person.
I
don't-
really fucking was. Like I can't put it into words, but like
Were you
the,
like a cool
the
person?
Luke you hear now over the podcast is not who Chuck was in high school. So-
what's something Chuck would say?
I don't know. Something offensive.
So
I
he
don't know.
was like, he thought he was a badass kind of.
I don't know. I was
Or-
never a tough guy.
No.
No.
Yeah, my name's Chuck.
No.
Yeah.
So there was actually, because I wasn't such a tough guy, there was this guy named Sean Sims. Shout out Sean.
Shout out Sean.
Sean once in like my sophomore year said party at Chuck's house. And
Party at Chuck's house points directly at you.
yeah, and there was a party at my house that night, and I had no say in the matter. People showed up. People brought beer.
I hope your parents were out of town for this.
they
weren't
were not.
Oh,
They were not.
shit.
Were
People-
they partying?
No, they were pretty frustrated and upset, and they were like, "Why are these people?" And I'm just like trying to play it off, like they're just some friends coming, like, like I had no control over
Look,
this, man.
they think I'm Chuck. I got to be cool here.
Right,
But, like,
You
I
cool
would-
with this? It's
Chuck
just a
was the
couple beers.
worst, man. I hated it. I had a friend come over my like again sophomore year. He came into my house. My parents were like, "Luke, come here," and I'm like, "I'll be right back." And I went upstairs to talk to my parents. Come back down. He was like, "Why are your parents calling you Luke, man?" I'm like, "That's my name. Get out of my house.
I'm
Get out of my
picturing.
house. Like you thought my name was Chuck for real? Get out of my house.
I picture you.
You
like,
knew me 2 years, my guy. Get out of my house."
I picture you standing in the mirror and you like what your mirror version's Chuck and then you're Luke and then you're arguing with yourself like Smeagol and Gollum, you know?
I never got that crazy, but I got crazy.
I gotta be Chuck. No, you have to be.
Oh, dude,
Luke.
Chuck makes me think of somebody who drinks Michelob Ultras and plays darts at the Naughty Pine.
No, it was kind of like I just adapted to whoever they thought Chuck was, because Chuck was kind of like a mythical person that
Yeah,
people would just
he's a
kind of like
legend.
tell other people to. Like it started out small with Andy, and then it grew to like the skater kid clique, and then it grew to like the popular kid clique. You know what I mean? And they all knew Chuck. And then I would go to hang out with said
Chuck.
person.
They all knew.
They
Chuck
all knew
exclusively.
Chuck.
Then I'd go to hang out with said person, right? But when I'm going to go hang out with said person, they're like, Chuck is coming, not Luke. So like I show up and I'm like, hey, how's it going? And then they're like, oh, you got to meet so and so. This is Chuck. I was telling you about it. And then it's like,
Tell you
okay,
about
so
Chuck.
like I gotta listen to what they're telling them and what like crazy like charades or like events they've heard like Chuck has done, and then like I gotta like tell them the stories of whatever they just heard, and then I gotta try to ante it up You know,
Damn, so
Yeah,
you
you
were
should
kind
make
of
my
fucking
buddies in.
celebrity at your high school.
it fucking sucked.
This fake
yeah, it must be
personality-
nice. You know, I was the kid in high school who got fucking picked on.
No,
all
no,
the
no.
time.
See, it
Everybody
was
talked
fun.
Shit.
It was fun
And you're the fucking
sophomore
celebrity.
year.
You're like, oh,
You were
this is not
Chuck.
fun.
No. It was fun.
And you were Chuck.
It was fun sophomore year on. Freshman year was a nightmare because freshman year, things like Kick a Ginger Day still existed, and I got chased. I got
You got
kicked.
chased?
I got kicked.
They were
I got my
trying to kick you that
headphones
bad?
broken. Yeah, dude.
Because of Kick a Ginger Day?
Kick a Ginger Day, man. It was
But you're
because
Chuck.
I'm Chuck though. But freshman year, the notoriety hadn't established itself. Sophomore,
Fair enough.
junior,
It
and
takes a
senior
few
year
would
was
you
years
make
to
a
get
Chuck?
establishment.
Why did they do that to
Can
upperclassmen?
you introduce yourself as Chuck Young?
I
from
can
now
do
on?
a Chuck intro on an episode.
You should
sometime.
do it next episode and see if Cody actually listened to this when he edits it.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Yeah, maybe.
You want me to introduce myself as Chuck though?
I
Should I
do.
try to do a Chuck episode? I think
I
that
would
would
love a
kind of
Chuck
ruin.
Young
I think that would
episode.
ruin me psychologically. Actually,
I think any
I
one
think
of our
it's worth it
listeners
for
who
the
can draw,
publicity.
Nick Glavin, I know you're listening. All right, I want you to draw me what Chuck Young would look like. I need to do this for the podcast. I need a shirt to be made.
Chuck Young. Oh,
I
that
want-
would be
I want a
sick. Get a
Chuck
Chuck
Young-
Young T-shirt.
Yeah, Mansfield, we promote you every week. I need you to do me one solid. All right, I need you to draw me.
We need a
what
Chuck
does Chuck Young look like? You know, I just want to know.
We need Chuck. Maybe we'll do a contest.
Yeah, I want a contest. I'll rate it. Okay, let's get into the last bit of this because we unfortunately gotta go.
Yeah,
dude, thanks for coming on the show. You're fucking
Yeah.
wonderful.
Thank
dude,
you.
I had a
Thank
fucking great time with you, Billy. For real,
Same
I really
to you,
did. It
man.
was super nice meeting you.
Same to you, Chuck.
Do you want to come back on sometime?
I would. Yeah, I would love to have a second date.
Let's have a
fuck
second
yeah.
date, and maybe we can get to third base.
I had such a great time with
think
Billy. I want to see if
only
we
agree to 3.5 bases.
3.5. Ooh.
Stop.
Only the head.
Right.
That means only the tip gives it.
I appreciate this, and I hope to God that happens. Where can we check you out? Where can we follow you? Give us some details.
You can follow me individually on Instagram at William the Spoken. That is my handle on Instagram, and then the SoftSpoken page is at SoftSpoken Music on Instagram, also on Patreon, and then our Facebook is SoftSpoken Music as well, I believe. But you can just type it in the search bar on Facebook. One word, SoftSpoken, not spaced out. Otherwise, you will find some jazz band. I think some cover jazz.
Do they
band.
suck?
I haven't listened to them personally.
haven't even
but
listened to
I know
it.
it exists. I know it exists.
You should listen to
But
it.
since we're working our way up the ladder a little bit, it seems like it's popping up at the first few things, which is good because for a
You're
while.
the first website.
Yeah, and look, you even typed it with spaces. Man, look, you're already messing up. here.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, but it works.
But it still came up. It used to not come up like that, so that's cool.
Oh, you guys are definitely making waves for
Yay.
sure.
Congrats.
Starting to be Google official. See, active here. 2016.
That's
Yeah.
got that right.
Are you guys on Wikipedia?
I don't know if somebody's made a Wikipedia.
If
for us.
not,
I don't think
someone
so.
make a soft-spoken Wikipedia for
Yeah,
him.
Nick Glavin, I know you're listening. I need you to make a
Nick Glavin,
a
Whoever
just
you
do
are,
li-
Nick,
just
make
do
a
everything.
Wikipedia, please. We need it. You're not legit unless you have a Wikipedia.
Yeah.
All right. so-
Mansfield, can you make us a Wikipedia for Softspoken? I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, buddy.
all right. Be sure to follow Billy. Be sure to follow Softspoken on everything. Softspokenmusic.com. And we're going to do some closeout ads. I guess since Cody's not here, I'll try to go ahead and wing the incredible, the beautiful, the long dick wizard, Anthony Tank Mansfield.
Hey, Daddy Mansfield, baby.
Daddy Mansfield, if you want to go ahead and support our number one supporter and sponsor, Anthony Tank Mansfield, a.k.a. Neil to No One, go to KNEELTONOONE.com and go ahead and try to purchase a T-shirt. Maybe he's got some glassware. Go ahead and throw Patrick's drinking from one of the classic black inked Cthulhu beer glasses. It's incredible. We
Just
love
had a
them.
fresh glass of water.
Go ahead and shoot him a DM for commission some art, get some real art, hang it
Call
up
him
on
Daddy.
your wall.
Call him
Call
Daddy
him
for
Daddy.
me.
You know,
I appreciate this, Luke.
Show some respect. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he's your daddy.
And we're also sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. I've got one of their brand new stickers in my hand right now. Patrick just pulled up some today for the episode. He hung out with them earlier today. We got a sweet little sticky icky nug with Scarlet at the bottom. It's I don't even know why I'm trying to face it at the camera. We got no camera for the episode
the whole episode
today.
It's kind of been like
no
that.
episode. Yeah. So go ahead and check out Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop for any of your heady glassware needs or equipment or kratom. Go ahead and visit them at one of their 2 spots at either 11424 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati, Ohio 45249, or at 937 Monmouth Street, Kentucky, Newport 41071. And let them know that you're an active listener of the Bastard Sermon,
Tell me
and
you're
they
a
will hook you
bastard.
up with
They'll get
10% off.
You
They'll
bastard.
fucking get it. They understand.
They
It's
really will
code
get it.
speak. You'll fucking walk up there. You'll be like, "Hey, I'm a bastard."
I'm a fucking
and they'll
bastard,
take
boy.
10% off your discount, and then the next people will come up behind you and they're like, "Hey, why
was
those
that about?
fucking mooks get 10% off their discount?" And they're like, "Well, they listen to the
The
Bastard Sermon. What
bastards.
you doing? Get your head out your ass." You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? What?
So go ahead and listen.
Hey, hold
Check
on,
out
hold
Scarlet
on
Vape
now.
Smoke Shop.
Now, if all cops are bastards, do they get the discount?
You know, if you a cop, you a stinky cop, but you're not a bastard because you listening to this, but you kind of is a bastard. Go ahead and check out
Yeah,
some
you know what
Scarlet
I'm
Vape
talking
Smoke
about.
Shop. Let them know you a bastard.
Yeah, that was really good. I
Oh,
appreciated that.
yeah.
That was a really good ad, Luke.
Hey, I think sitting in Cody's seat, I've kind of stolen some
Is this
mojo
Chuck?
or something. I don't know what it is. Oh,
This
don't
is-
say
sounds
that.
like- it
I
makes
need to
me think
shut
they-
that closet on Chuck right now.
Is this who Chuck is?
Chuck is scary.
Appreciate it.
is
Also, go ahead and check out Cody Best at Clifton Barbers. If you go to their Instagram at Clifton Barbers, you can go and check out all the personal accounts of all the other hairstylist artists out there. But if you go out there and get a sweet do by Cody Best, specifically Cody Best, because he's the best. Literally, I didn't mean to say that twice, but that's just how it works because he's the best. No walk-ins at the moment due to COVID, same-day appointments, so either show up and get it scheduled or call in and get a spot. They also have online booking. They're cash only at the moment. It's 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, and then 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. And then the last thing I want to shout out here, actually 2 things. First off, shout out to Corbin Carter. This dude's a fucking
that was
G.
crazy. That was so fucking nuts, dude.
Get this. All right. I don't even know if he listens this far in the episodes, but I'm going to give him a quick shout because the dude's the fucking man and probably one of my favorite people. He got the Bastard Sermon logo tattooed on his chest recently, and I got a picture on my phone. I can show you because I saved this shit, not because his nipple's in the picture, but for totally
I
other
got
reasons.
it right here. Oh,
Right here. He got a fucking Bastard logo tattooed on his
Dude.
chest.
That's sick.
That's awesome.
Crazy.
Super cool. Just want to give a quick shout out. That's something, we started this podcast in a fucking garage, and now
Yeah.
we have people tattooing themselves. That's fucking blowing my mind.
That's
we'd
insane.
say
That's
the
amazing.
dumbest shit on this podcast. I cannot believe that it has gone this far for us.
Yeah, I can't
Sweet.
either.
And that is Cody Hucker's design. If Cody likes to dog on himself for art, but he really is a good artist, even though he's a little bitch. But yeah, go ahead and hit up Corbin. He's a cool dude if you ever want to meet someone cool. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm just, I'm fucking drunk. But also check out my art
Plugging
page.
everybody.
Dark Mountain Cult. I just released some new Pyramid Head shirts. I'm not going to have a lot left by the time, if any at all, by the end of this podcast airs.
I'm gonna
But hit
snag me
up.
one when I'm paid.
Yeah, I'll save one for you. So just let me know. But hit me up. I got some art. I'll do some art for you. Big shout out to the guys that have been hitting me up recently because they listened to the podcast and they wanted to get some art. I fucking appreciate you guys, and it's an honor to make something for you, especially if you're going to get a tattoo. So thanks so much. Dark Mountain Cult. I also have an Etsy account. Now go check that out. I don't know what I'm
Ooh.
doing on there, but just fucking favorite it.
Check it out. Support it.
Support it. Check it out.
Yeah,
Chuck's
man.
going to be there, dude.
Yeah,
So
it's not a corporation. It's just
Yeah.
one man.
It's just me. I'm just one guy.
Yeah, man. He's
So,
not pushing agenda. He's just pushing T-shirts.
Just pushing T-shirts and gaming bullshit, Let's do some art. All right, but that's it for me. Good fucking episode.
Yeah, that was a great fucking episode. Thanks for joining us, Billy.
Yeah, of course. I had a great time. Thank you guys for having me on.
I
and
love you.
Listen to me talk.
We'll have you on again?
More. Yes, I would love to be on again. And
We'll have you
let's
on.
bring in Chris Wethington.
Let's
from
bring on
SoftSpoken.
Chris.
Let's bring on
we'll have
Chris
Sam.
Wethington.
We'll have Sam
Yes.
make a return sometime too.
I want to know more
I
about
mean,
this
really,
baby
if-
powder steak thing.
That'd be 2 out of 3, so we might as well just have.
Let's
a
just get the
whole-
cast on. Yeah,
I would like.
you know
to
what?
just be able
6
to-
has been the largest group we've probably ever
Let's
planned.
push it to 8.
Let's maybe try to do it.
Let's do 8 people. I can figure out 2 other people I can come
Let's get
on,
our
maybe.
ghost drummer on there. Let's get
let's-
ex-members.
That'll
on
be
there.
that'll be a
juicy
Patreon.
gossip.
It'll be a Patreon episode.
How many people can you think we could fit on one podcast without it being complete and utter nonsense?
Too many. I think
Honestly,
I know
if we
way
really wanted to pack it in, we could have all the members of Allies Aside
Yeah.
on here that have ever been in the band. And honestly,
That's
I don't
20
even think
people.
they'd fit in this room.
That's
Yeah.
20 people all
They
together.
would not fit in this room.
But we could get a whole reunion, and
See, that could be Patreon content.
how we could get Evade the
Allies
Adversaries
Society
on
reunion.
here, and maybe we can have your mom on here. We talk about the cats and stuff.
That would be a really good idea. I'm sure she would have some very interesting stories other than
How
the
about
cats.
you and your mom come on the next time you guys come back? This
All right,
is good
next
job,
guys. Next episode, we're gonna have Billy Zimpelman and his mom on. All right,
Yeah.
join us next week.
Yeah, we're talking about these cats.
I swear to God, she's not a crazy cat lady.
Peace,
All right,
y'all.
My
Peace
mother's
all.
a wonderful person.
Wonderful woman.
She's a very nice lady.
Sorry,
no,
go.
yeah. One more thing before we close out. Make sure that that you follow SoftSpoken on all of our handles on Instagram and on Facebook. If you want to sign up for our Patreon, the lower VIP tier starts at $5, and you'll get exclusive content. You'll get the 2 albums that we've released so far for free, and other things that we release in between time that aren't available to the general public. And make sure that you tune in for our new single, Sleight of Hand, available October 16th. We're closing out with, again, the first minute of Sleight of Hand on the Bastard Sermon podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and we hope you all have a very good evening.